Oh man, I'm stressing, dude. Sweat is pouring out of my nose as I'm
Oh,
looking for this dadgum book. Oh my
you're
gosh.
tripping next to the card.
Oh,
No.
oh man. I just the stress is just it's like, oh man, is he gonna blow it? Is he gonna blow it? Oh no, we're live. Oh, it's over. Oh my gosh, he totally sucks. He'll never be invited back again.
The Speak in Code Podcast. And now introducing Code, Conspiracy of a Dead Man.
Over 100 people dead.
Chente, the homie. Servant with a noble cause. And Teddy Bear Dynamite. These are the hosts of the Speak in Code Podcast.
Hey, let's get this party started.
Hey guys, this is Code Conspiracy of a Dead Man from the SpeakInCOAD Podcast. I have to my right or my left, I don't know if I'm going to be mirrored, I got James from Plunder World.
What's in your cup? Power!
What's up, James?
Hey there, thanks for having me on. This is a lot of fun. I've been looking forward to this, and you're pretty awesome. I've always enjoyed the panels we've been on together.
Yes, you too, man. I've been wanting to, I've learned about you for a while now, just from a Paranoid American sending out some cards of yours, and I'm like,
Good dude.
who is this guy? So I start following you, and I'm like, wait, he just does cards. I'm like, how do we get a hold of this guy? And
That's
then
it. I just do cards. I'm just long ago. I've been into this kind of stuff. My dad was nuts, and he passed on the nutty gene. And so while other kids are reading Garfield, I'm reading The Unseen Hand by Ralph Epperson. And I'm trying to wrap my head around like Carol Quigley, and so I just over the years I just got to get it out of my head. It's like taking a really big dump. You know what I mean?
yeah, of trauma. No.
Sort of. No, but I mean, really, it's just like seriously, look, I'm just a normal dude, and I'm interested in like three things in life. I love heavy metal, I love barbarian movies, and I love conspiracies. Okay, there's just like this juicy sexiness when you tie all three of them together. Okay, because no matter where you are at a party or at work or even in an airport, you hear all this low roar of general conversation, but when somebody's talking about one of those three things, all of a sudden you can hear them crystal clear. You're like, whoa, 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 what are they talking about? I've always loved that. So I mean, I don't know, for anybody that doesn't know, what this is, I literally make trading cards, and they are, I mean, they're boxes. There's, I mean, I got, let's see here. Sorry if my mic messes up.
No, you're fine.
They're boxes and are loaded with packs. And as you can see, there's a big number 2 on there because I'm already on series 2, and I'm about maybe a month away from finishing series 3. But I guarantee that you're going to get a college education in at least one pack of these cards.
And it's not like normal cards. It's not like there's stats on the back. It's like
these are cards that I've always wanted, because like, so I make everything. I do all the art. I'm not like I'm more of a photographer and a collager. My drawing is terrible. I can't paint to save my life, but I know my way around cameras and Photoshop. So I want to make a compelling dark image, and then I want to load the back of every card with real information that I get out of books, autobiographies, government reports. I'm not speculating on any of these cards. That doesn't mean that any of this stuff might be wrong, but I guarantee you I'm not making this up. Yes. And they're just miniature deep dives, hopefully to get people to try to prove me wrong or pick up a book and find out all the sick stuff I had to leave out.
Yeah.
But there's I mean, every series is dense. There's 90 subjects, but the gag
Jeez.
is that every subject has 3 unique cards, and there's a different part of the story on the back of each card. Because like I can't tell you like Craig Spence. I can't tell you about how he was the Jeffrey Epstein before Epstein on one card.
Wow.
And this, that's actually me in my own bathroom pretending to get murdered. But
Oh, like the picture is.
yeah, that's
Oh,
my
that's
hand.
so
That's
sick.
my hand on the bottom left, and my gloved hand on the top right, writing the message. And
Who took
I
the
put
picture?
me. I just set it on a tripod, turn the lights
Oh,
on, and hit the timer.
that
Okay,
makes sense.
yeah, but it's actually 2. I just got to morph them together.
Okay.
But yeah, and these aren't like paranormal topics either. I don't get into UFOs. I don't get into Sasquatch. I get into things that I can actually document and put people down rabbit holes. But
Like projects and operations for the most part, right?
yeah, people, events, technology, kind of responsible for the state of the world we live in today. And what's this set of trading cards are that hard to find shiny cards. And so there are always going to be at least 9 hard to find shiny cards, full
The
cards,
ultra rare
chase
cards.
cards, yeah, whatever you want to call them.
Okay.
And each rare card is limited to just that one subject. So there's not 3 of the story about John Joan. It's just one
Okay.
card about this tragic event that doctors have been using as evidence that transition surgeries for children are safe.
Jeez.
Yeah. And the name of the doctor, by the way, was Dr. Money. Gee, I wonder what that means.
Yeah, follow the money, right?
Yeah. And then, the chase cards will usually have a theme. So the theme is usually related to some sort of psychological experiment that made us all easier to control and manipulate.
Yes.
So I literally made a victim card, and this is one of the compositions I'm really proud of. But there was literally a psychological experiment to prove how people can be made to feel like victims, even if nothing's wrong with them.
Whoa.
So it's a literal victim card, gang.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Now, can you break this down for me? Because I'm looking at your box right now,
Yeah.
the front of it where it says 90 subjects, 3 narratives, 9 foil cards, and 279 total cards. Now, that's in an entire box that you would buy if you
No,
bought the box set.
no, that's just
Okay.
that's just what's in the total series. So it's
Oh,
279 total cards in the series, and that breaks down to 90 subjects, 3 cards each, plus 9 full cards.
okay.
Yeah. And the reason it's 279 is because that evenly fits in 9 card pages. Okay. I used to
Okay.
hate getting cards and you got like 2 or 3 spots left over. And then
Yeah,
every box,
really.
of course, comes with a checklist. So you get all the subjects. And I even have a few guest artists appearing in this series, and I'm hoping to continue that for series 3. And I learned quite a bit working with some of these artists. Some of them are not going to return, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just transition back to my hairy face. But yeah, my whole goal is to just make this kind of stuff approachable. Break
Yeah.
it down into digestible topics that aren't overwhelming. Because when I do shows, because I go to card shows, I go to gun shows, I go to weird eclectic witchcraft shows, anywhere they'll let me in the door, and inevitably there are a couple people that they do mention the fact that this kind of material is just overwhelming and they don't know where to start. And I go, well, that's why I make these, because it breaks down each subject into something approachable. So it's not just this tidal wave.
Yes.
And that's the problem is uh, there's this flood of information. You turn on the radio, you open up your phone, you see the news, and you see all these stories coming after you. And a lot of people don't have context. They don't have nuance. And so they just shrug their shoulders and go, well, okay, I guess that's happening now. Okay.
Yes.
I guess I don't know how to feel about that until, that guy with the strong chin on ABC tells me how to feel.
Yes.
And that's so there's some spicy subjects. I do put a warning on the box. I recommend it for 16 and up, but hey, you know your kids better than any I would. So if you think they can handle this, then God bless you.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a way that they can learn too. It's not like it's it's definitely not like, I don't know. I mean, it's not a game. It's not something where you're like, here's Pokemon, here's stats on it.
Yeah, and honestly, you could make a game out of it. I mean, how many cards is it going to take for you to start laughing about how ridiculous everything is?
Yes. I mean, make it into your own trivia
I
version if you
guess.
want.
But I actually am trying to make a game, a separate kind of card effort. But I got a couple of I got a couple of uphill battles. The first one is I don't have any idea how any of these card games work. I've never played one. I've never
Yeah.
collected one. I've seen them. I don't know anything about them. But I am stubborn, and I got a book called How to Think Like a Game Designer, and it's kind of like a cheat code, and this guy tells you, okay, this is what you do, and I'm like, okay, that seems simple enough. And the other challenge, pardon me, is when I'm at these shows, I'll get curious because sometimes, really nice, well-meaning young kids will approach my table and they're like, "Oh, sir, what's this?" And I tell them, and I say, you might want to tell your parents. You might be a little young for this. But every now and then they'll say, "Hey, are these cards like worth anything?"
Mm,
And I go, "Well, that's an interesting question. I mean, really, it's about making you worth something.
yes.
When you play these games, I mean, do you actually play the game that you're collecting?" And 90% of these kids say no. So
Wow.
it's like, why go through all the trouble if nobody's going to play the dadgum game? Plus, like I
Yes.
said earlier, I want a game that is like a barbarian movie with a heavy metal soundtrack. I want it to just blow your face in half.
Yes.
And I got a couple of really strong concepts, but I'm one guy, and I do have some really loyal customers and fans that have kindly volunteered to work out kinks if I send them some prototypes. And I think I got a pretty good game mechanic, but again, it's an uphill battle of like, well, there's zillions of card games, and a lot of them now are okay. I'm not going to name names, but this is and stop me anytime. I'm sorry. I just kind of go
No, no,
off,
no. You're good,
but
man. This is
I
awesome.
don't. I don't really get upset at much, but one thing I do get upset at is lazy effort.
Mm,
And so when I go to these shows, I do encounter uh, other people selling cards. But then every now and then somebody will approach me and they'll open up their binder and they'll say, "Hey, man, oh, there's this guy that's making his own card game. Check this out." And and they'll show me samples, and it's all AI art,
yes.
and that really bothers me. It really bothers me because it's so low effort.
Yep.
Um, I've said this before, but I look, I'm just a normal dude. I like to fish. I like to barbecue. I like to go bowling. But there's a part of me also that likes to strive for some form of excellence. If
Yes.
I make something, if I do something, I want a sense of, hey, I put my effort into that. I'm never gonna know what it's like to bear a child, but I do
Oh.
understand I do, yeah. At last I checked. Okay, but um, but they're sure fun to make. But I'll tell you this: that act of creation, when you pour your guts into something, and only you and the darkness know what you did to get it done. There's something really, there's something really strong about it. And I realize that there's going to be artistic judgment and evaluation over what is considered good or bad, but I think innately you could tell when somebody puts effort into their work. Okay. And it's not just in like trading cards or whatever. I mean, a small example. Okay, so in my normal 9 to 5 job, I do a lot of work in video and photo production, and I have to do all kinds of projects. And so sometimes I'm doing stuff with real estate, or I'm with a construction firm, and there's going to be a remodel on a bathroom, and it's a small, normal, like 3-bedroom house in the suburbs, nothing special. But the way they're redesigning just this like extension for a closet, it's just like maybe an extra 5 feet, but the level of thought and the level of effort they're using to economize space, to choose the right materials, make something long lasting and attractive for resale value, there is an effort and an art in that it's recognizable. And I think if people walk through life and they just stopped and observed just the common things that they encounter and realize the amount of effort that went in to that small bathroom, or that, just the way that ergonomic knob on your stereo just happens to be near the skip button. You're like, oh, you know what? Somebody thought of that. Somebody put some effort into how people drive, appreciate those things.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe that's a little too, I hope that makes sense.
No, it does.
Yeah. So anyways,
You
I'm blabbing along.
appreciate putting the work in to actually make things work for other people the best way as possible too. So it's like I could definitely get an understanding for that too. Or it's like if you're remodeling a house and you're like, oh, I don't know if I like this here after you've already done it. You're like,
Well,
well,
plus we've all slapped something together, we've
yeah,
all kind of like, I mean, we know what it's like when, you take you back to your high school days and, oh crap, that project's due in like 2 days and I haven't done squat,
no,
Yeah.
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hated homework. I still hate it.
Yeah.
I don't do it at all. Not
Well, it's because
anymore.
you gotta find something that, you love. You gotta find something that grabs you. I mean, everybody has something that they're willing to put the work into. It's just they either A, haven't discovered it yet, or B, they're too worried about making money off of it to never
Yes.
try. And that's, look, I'm sorry, that's life, I mean, I think the guy that invented the slinky, I think it took him like 8 or 10 years just to get a store to put it in the front.
Wow.
So
And everybody's had one.
yeah, I'm not making like money, okay? I make enough to like cover the next couple of shows, okay?
Yes.
I mean, but I have fun doing this. It's in fact, I don't even like, before any card ever goes to print, I hand make every card at home,
Wow.
just with some prints at Walgreens and some card stock. And just to see how the overall quality looks on the print before it goes to the final company that I use. And in fact, I'm sold out of Series 1. So
Wow.
that's not a bad thing, but it was, it wasn't like, a massive, amount in the printing. And I'm stalling because I want to show off a couple of things because I am psycho and I like to torture myself. And so when I tell you that when it's a labor of love, it is a literal labor of love because since I don't have any more Series 1, I handmade an entire set of Series 1. Okay.
I have a Series 1.
And all 279 cards are homemade. This is a very special series.
Wow.
And I'm only making these sporadically because it takes a ton of time to do that. Okay. So,
Jeez.
no, it is a Herculean effort, and I want people to notice that because I can't stand low effort. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I remember an interview I saw with a guy that makes music videos, and he is a director. And oh, you got a doggy?
Yeah, I'm just shutting the door. I'm listening.
Yeah. Oh no. But yeah, there's this music video director, and he's talking about how stressful his job is and all the work he has to do and the long hours. And so he shows an example of what his job as a music video director is. And all this guy does is he'll find he has a band, or he has an artist, of course, and so he'll write out prompts of where a location should be and what should be going on, and then he
Ooh.
sends it off to a production company that computer animates it in Korea.
Oh,
And they do
jeez.
all this computer editing, and they send back the samples, and then he provides revisions. And oh my God, that just stresses him out. Oh man, my job is so hard. And
Yes, you-
I want to puke. I want to puke because this guy has won awards. This guy is well respected in his industry. And look, I don't work in that industry, but again, it's low effort. Because even a layman, if they heard that story, would go, wait a minute, that's it?
T-shirt, is just a t-shirt until you give a t-shirt a purpose. People spend millions wearing someone else's name on their back. Why not, for a change, wear your own name on your back for a start? You have a great idea, but you don't know where to begin? We do. Why not check out We Can Do It? WeCanDoItShop.com. We will help you get your idea on a t-shirt, or a hoodie, or a tote, or 10. Doesn't matter. We can do it.
Yeah,
That's
he's
it.
the middleman. That's all he's
And
doing.
that's what perpetuates this cycle of generations of children that grow up thinking, oh, well, I just want to be a social media influencer. I just want to be famous on YouTube and blah, blah. You know, why? Because you got a bunch of low effort celebrities that get paid per click because all they're doing is making a bunch of loud sounds and wearing costumes, being silly, and it's like ADD, the video channel, and it makes me sick because that is so poisonous to a a young influential child. You know, when you and I'm cribbing a line here, but when you actually read these stories of like dudes that did amazing stuff before they turned 35, you feel so worthless. Like, can you imagine being Magellan circumnavigating the earth and not have any idea of where you're going? You don't know what you're going to run into. You got a crew that is ready to kill you, you know, because like, hey boss, where are we going? You know, what we're going to eat? Do you know what we're going? What's that? Holy crap, it's huge. You know, I mean, imagine living like that, not for a day, but for years, going into uncharted lands. And I mean, that should be inspiring. I give you, no, Captain Cook. He's the guy that oh wait, is it Cook? No, maybe it's not. I forget the captain that forced trade onto Japan. But
Okay.
the reason Japan opened up to the West is because damn it, I can't remember his stupid name. Well, it's not a stupid name. I got it right here. But anyways, Japan was closed off. They were basically living in the medieval ages until the United States forced trade open. And it was at gunboat. I mean, they literally had cannons drawn and they were shooting at them like, hey, you need to join the modern world, gang. And wow. And of course, that's obviously pretty insane. But his son served in the Second War against Britain, and there was a naval battle going on in the Great Lakes. And this guy has his ship sunk, and he and his surviving crew, they get into a dinghy and they hustle it over to another ship, take command, and fight back the British. And this guy's doing it at 32 years old. And you read this and you go, man, I haven't done squat. You know, I'm still trying to figure out who I am as a human being. What's wrong with me? You know? And children, especially children, need to hear these like amazing, you know, just blow your socks off. And yeah, maybe it is a little bit of like myth making, because, you know, I'm sure the reality is maybe a little more toil and a little more humdrum than you think.
Yes.
But I don't think that matters, because even in our own lives, when we try to tell people stories about something that exciting happened, you know, to us like last week, we amp up the details. We don't include all the boring stuff. We don't include all the, you know, the lame waiting around or what you really thought. No, you get right to the meat and potatoes because you want to entertain somebody. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm rambling. Does that make sense?
No, that totally makes sense. And I mean, if you even look at it like being in the military and stuff too, it's like you had people that were above you that tasked you with stuff. And it's like, oh, we did. And honestly, this is what happens a lot of the times is like they put in themselves for awards. So then what they'll do is they'll talk themselves up, and then they'll have to give people below them something because they're like, they were a part of it. And like, well, I mean, I helped clean up. Like I was a part of this team award, and I'm not saying that happened all the time. I mean, now it's a different scenario where it's a lot easier being in the military. That's a lot more. I feel like there's a lot more. I don't know if I would even say more rewarding, but some commands are more willing to write up the paperwork for you to say that you did X, Y, and Z. And sometimes it's just your job, but then other times it's like you did go above and beyond and you did do X, Y, and Z to make sure that this mission was capable and it happened. And a lot of the times people don't see the people in the background either, where it's like these ones were the ones that got the award and they were the ones that actually did all the work, but it was all of their crew behind them that actually helped push and make things happen too, but they just didn't get the credit for it as well. So
Well, just
I
wait.
besides, yeah.
In like 10 years, somebody will get a Medal of Honor for defending the rights of some trans person.
Oh,
Just-
yeah.
But
Have
it's
it ready.
funny. Well, awards in the military, that was a product, I believe, of Napoleon. The idea of getting troops to stick with you and go on these long campaigns. Well, reward them, give them
Yes.
give them a little goodie. Yeah, that's right. I mean, was it? It was. I want to say it was like early 2000s or maybe 2004 or five, where the Army rebranded. It was no longer "Be All That You Can Be." It was Army of One. Remember that?
Oh, yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, and they transitioned a lot because, like, in your final week of
Transition.
yeah, there's that word again. Because in your final week of boot camp, and this is true with your MOS, but
Mhm.
you go on your final exercise, and it's usually a bivouac of sorts, depending on your MOS. Like you'll be in the field, out in the bushes or something, and basic training is the same. And the very last couple of days, you go on some big, massive, simulated, wartime field exercise, and then when you
Yes.
return, you clean all your gear, and then it's finally over, and you feel beat up. Well, I think when they transitioned into Army of One, they made it to where that return march back from your bivouac, they made this like grand spectacle. Like there's lit torches and there's all this fanfare, like you're a part of the team now, and they
Yeah.
really want that. They want the young to just feel like they're a part of this, club. And of course, that I'm not knocking the military. I'm just saying pay attention because that is psychological manipulation.
Oh, 100%. Yes.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, like, when I went to boot camp in '08 for the Coast Guard back in the day, and it was like you would go as a company, like you were a big group of people. Some people got kicked out and left behind, or they got bumped to like the week that started after you. So you never wanted to get kicked out a week that started after you because they're below you and they're younger than you, and you feel like a failure if you get in trouble or something stupid happens and you have to stay back an extra week or 2 weeks or whatever. And sometimes that would happen even with injuries. People would get injured. So then they're like, hey, while you're out, like recovering from medical, you can't move on with your company. You have to do through physical therapy or recovery of some sort. And then when you come back, you're 2 weeks behind or three, sometimes like a couple months behind. So it's like some people are like, this sucks. This is and then what will happen too is they'll give you like a not a mission, but when your entire company is forming, you guys are slowly failing together. They keep you failing. There's things that they'll give you tasks that you'll never succeed. They'll empty out your entire locker, and you have to bring your bag down to the downstairs or whatever out in the field, and you have to constantly run all the way up, one person at a time, bring one item back until you fill your entire bag. And they're like, you have to do this. And they're like, you're so close. And they just keep breaking you doing it that way mentally. And it's all artificial stress. And what will happen is you guys will slowly, like the first couple weeks, they give you a guide on flag or a guide
Yeah,
on
yeah.
with a flag on the top.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll go, look at all these companies, all the ones that are up front of you or that are about to graduate. Look at all those tassels and ribbons that they have attached. That's for every time they succeeded something as a company. And I don't know what they even were. I don't remember. And I just remember them saying, like, you guys are miserable. You almost make me want to quit as a company commander. Like, I don't even want to be a part of this. Like,
Well, gee, you're
I'm
still
about to
here,
give up.
Captain.
Yeah, or they're like, I'm not even coming in tomorrow, and they don't show up. But it's to give them breaks because they're not there every single day. They have other people that rotate in and out and stuff too to kind of run the company. But then by the time you're about to graduate, you go, you guys have been slowly building as a team, and this is your last thing, and this is the last ribbon or tassel or whatever, and you guys got it. And then you guys think like, we did it. We're all a team together. And you're like looking back at it, and I'm like, I don't even remember what it was for. Like, what
Yeah.
did we accomplish? We didn't accomplish anything. We marched together. We sucked at marching. Like, did cadence together. We couldn't stay on the same foot at the same time because people in the back were taller than the people in the front. And it just was like, looking back at it, I'm like, it's all a mental mind mess with your head type of thing. And then it gets you to break mentally. So then that way, as soon as they see you're crumbling, then they're there to help build you back up and then
idea.
make you feel like you're stressed. And then now that stress is gone, but now you're ready to go out and fight. Where if they would have just told you, hey, man, you got to do, then we would have people out in the field later that had no military bearing. Like they were out in the field too long without making rank. And they're just at the point where like they don't care. So it's like
Yep.
I could see them, the reasoning they do that just to kind of get people to meld and build together. Then you having the guy in the corner being like, this sucks, bah humbug. Like, look at this. And because sometimes those negative people will break everything down and make everybody else pissed or
Yeah,
negative.
plus they don't know who the recruits are going to be. You know,
Yes.
I mean, these guys are seeing thousands of people a year. You know what though? I've always been curious because, like, you know, once you finish your basic training, typically then you go off to your specialty school, your MOS training, and I've always wondered what that looks like in like military intelligence. You know, like
Mm.
what's their special, you know, end of the training bivouac? Do they like give them this puzzle box and they're like, okay, solve this, and they succeed, and Pinhead pops out and shoves hooks through their flesh, and you know, I don't.
Yeah, really. Like,
I've
well,
always been curious what the military intelligence MOS bivouac is.
yeah, I don't know. And I almost wonder if it's a way for them to know how to program or to be programmed. Like this person is easily programmable. Maybe they'll fit into this puzzle easier,
Yeah,
or like,
but it's compartmentalized. I mean, the whole it's not quite as, I mean, the way it's described and the way you read about it, it makes it sound like, you know, there are these guys that are in this deep hole and they have live brains hooked up to electrodes and they're going, ooh, you know, we can control this hemisphere. No, 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 no. It's more like compartmentalized where, okay, so if we're in a foreign city, then how can we find sympathizers? Who can we approach for information?
yes,
And how can we ingratiate ourselves among a hostile population? You know, that's military intelligence at maybe the grunt level. Okay. But
yes,
these higher echelon military college planning committees, that's where you get into the weird stuff, you know, like, you know, Michael Aquino, you know, head of
yeah,
the Church of Satan. You know, that's where you get into like Major Stubble, or I'm sorry, was it I forget what general was it, Major General or Lieutenant? I think it was Lieutenant General Stubblebine. He was the guy in charge of The Men Who Stare at Goats. Remember the movie?
oh,
And
yes.
yeah, that was the psychological mind. It was actually called remote viewing, where
Okay,
it was a little detachment called Detachment G, and there was a program called Project Grill Flame. I don't know where they get
okay,
these names, but
yeah,
they would have these guys who would try to they would get just like a couple of coordinates, maybe a name, you know, just loose information, and then they would get into this like trance, and you know they'd be like, okay, I see a van.
yeah,
It's not daylight. It's not dark. It's evening. You know, and they would try to find people that have been kidnapped or the location of a new enemy ship that the Soviets were building. And the Stubblebine he was the head of the military, the Army Intelligence Command. And this guy
okay,
tried to walk through walls.
gee,
This guy would give entire lectures in front of his staff about the significance of nature. You know, I mean, forget it, just interesting guy, but
yeah,
not all military intelligence guys are like that. But we want to pretend they are. Okay.
yes. Well, I think the other thing too, you get some of those like, oh, what would you call them? Not black operations and stuff like that that are funded through like, I feel like there's certain things that get funded and promoted and there's such a small sliver of such a small group too, I think. I mean, like with and when we were talking about like you would send like a grunt that's a part of intel to a location to kind of see if you can get other people involved. And it's like I was listening to John Kirikaku.
Yeah, yeah, Mr. CIA, Mr. I don't
Yeah.
trust a word he says.
Yeah. But he was saying like he would be the type of person that would be out there doing that. And it's like I almost wonder if those like CIA people are the ones that are actually going out and doing that type of stuff, not so much the
Yeah, most
grunt
of the
or like
time,
the
like,
people right away.
well, if you're familiar with the concept of sheep dipping,
Mhm.
then that's how these sort of things are done throughout departments. And so,
Okay.
okay, so it's a little confusing, and I don't know all the numbers, but there are uh, there's two United States codes that authorize the use of military personnel. One
Mhm.
is under the Department of Defense or the Department of War, and I forget the name of the article and subsection, but
Okay.
that's the general order that gives military command the authority to send in forces. Okay. Now, there
Okay.
is another code that is used for intelligence, and that is through the CIA. And the CIA has authority to borrow personnel from any other armed service and not tell that personnel's command what they're up to. And that's
Whoa.
called sheep dipping.
Okay.
And that has been um that's in fact, it's very hard to really find out who's been sheep dipped until well after the fact. I don't know if a couple of years ago and they do it even on the civilian side. So a couple of years ago, I don't know if you were aware, but Facebook had employees that were CIA agents,
Okay.
but that
Yeah,
didn't
I
come
believe that.
out until after it was exposed because they were sheep dipped. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
It also happens in other military operations, lots of special forces. Um, Even SEAL teams can be called up through that article. And I profiled that in series 1, but I don't have that card nearby because I already forgot.
Yeah,
I,
it's not like Article 15. I think
no,
that's
no,
like
no,
when
no,
you're
no, no, no. That's something completely different. That's if you get punished in the military. They
okay.
dock your pay, and oh, you did a bad thing. You shouldn't have grabbed that girl's, what, and
Ugh.
it's going to cost you $150.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, so kind of to bring it around full circle, I do have a lot of fun doing this sort of stuff in person on the weekends, and I have learned quite a lot about what it takes to present yourself and be proud of a product that you physically make. And when I go to card shows, I am a very good observer of behavior, and I
Okay.
pay attention. But um, you also learn real quickly how to capture people's attention. And if I just had a stack of boxes and a couple of cards, people just walk by and like, okay, well, whatever, and they don't know anything because they're there to look at baseball cards. They're there to look at Pokemon cards. So they just
Yes.
assume that this is some weird thing that, they never heard of and they're going to walk by. And so my goal is to get them to stay at my table for as long as possible. And so I give them lots of neat stuff to look at and capture their eyes because I want them to know that I make this. Because the second they know that I make it, well, all of a sudden they're interested and they want to know more about it. And
Yes.
so just recently, let me grab this. You'll appreciate this. In fact, I won't tell you what it is until you actually read the caption.
Okay.
There we go. Now you tell me if you wouldn't stop and talk to me if you saw this at my table.
Oh, what?
Yes, sir. So,
Jeez.
yes, I have the actual magazine, and it is for sale. So we're
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Holy crap.
But that gets people talking, and they're like, "Wait a
Yes.
minute, wait, what do you have for sale here? What is all this?" So,
Now, do you still have people that come up and question, like, who's Jeffrey Epstein?
you
Or
know,
not?
not anymore.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, I can't, I will, I'm not going to lie. I really had no idea who the guy was either until I think his second arrest
In
or
2019.
yes, some maybe a little bit before then. There were some rumblings.
Mhm.
And I drive around the city a lot, and so I listen to a lot of shows because the radio stinks. And so I would hear guests mention this guy. I would hear because I kind of I know about Mossad. I know about Jonathan Pollard. I know about Rothschilds. I know about Baron Edmund. The French family constructing settlements in Palestine. I mean, I am aware of all of this history, but I don't think Epstein fell on my radar until some of the research by Ryan Dawson for sure, and then Whitney Webb, and then Johnny Vedmore. Yeah, those
Okay.
three. They really cracked that story open wide for me to get some more understanding. And their level of memory recall and attention to detail is intimidating. And I
Yeah.
really, and obviously you don't want to take anybody's word at face value. You want to go down the rabbit hole and try to source and where they're getting their information, because okay, let's see, do I have the book with me? No, they're all downstairs by my bed, but I got Whitney Webb's books, One Nation Under Blackmail, and
Okay.
honestly, they're great books, but anybody that's considering to get them and they're expecting to get the most dense, detailed information about Epstein, you might be a little disappointed. And that's not a criticism. I'm not throwing any shade at Whitney Webb or anybody that contributed. Okay, I'm not. But really, the last 5 or 6 chapters of book 2 really starts getting into the modern, of what we know.
Okay.
And this is all before the files were dumped recently.
Yes.
And so pretty much all of book 1 and a good chunk of book 2 is all previous stuff connected to his rise. And it illustrates how he was just the next guy in line for this chain of corruption and money laundering and banking fraud. It goes back a lot farther than him. But I'm not knocking the books. That's not what I'm trying to say. But anybody that's going to get the books expecting, really deep, too thick books about just Epstein,
Yes.
that's not what you're getting. Okay.
Plus, you're looking at the time frame of stuff too. It's like whenever we knew about Epstein, it was more hearsay than proof because we didn't have the Epstein files. And I mean, who knows if whatever they're releasing right now, it's like if that's even like 100. I mean, it's definitely not 100% of it. Like they had 3 million emails that they released, I think, this recently. But
I
there's
don't
got to be
know the
way
number,
more.
but I've
Yeah.
been going through them, and I'll hunt and peck, and I'll find some names that I think are interesting. And I think what's more interesting are the names that don't often get brought up, like all the people that worked for Epstein. There's a I think it's a German lady named Junkerman or Junkerman. It's spelled Junkerman, but because it's German, it's probably Junkermann.
Yeah.
And she's a big player in all of this.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
And
Okay.
so if you just start with a name and just search it, and you'll see a whole bunch of interesting things, like how she was actually referred to be a World Economic Forum Young Global Leader. And her letter of recommendation is actually in the files. And I find that very interesting because if you know anything about all the other young global leaders, then it starts to make a little bit of sense. And it ties together, and even Whitney Webb's books, and they tie in a lot of global philanthropy, especially through the United Nations and saving the earth. They tie that to the tech oligarchy of people like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and that's
Stephen
how.
Hawking stuff too.
Well, you see, that's the thing. I don't know. It's some of that doesn't. I mean, it's like I am not an expert at Hawking or even how Chris Tucker connects to all this. It's
Yeah.
just so cryptic, because on the one hand, yeah, they did fly planes for humanitarian missions with Clinton and Chris Tucker to places like Africa, and what's the other place? But they did fly on these humanitarian missions. That is absolutely true. And those pictures of Clinton in the bath with Ghislaine, and they're all in the swimming suits, that was during one of their humanitarian missions. Okay. And, I won't take credit for this, but somebody was saying that, if you put a black square over any photo, it already looks weird. It already looks like something bad's happening. It's kind of like the visual equivalent of like if you just put a beep over anything I'm saying right now, somebody's going to think I've got the filthiest mouth in the world,
Yeah. You're like, I was just making a sandwich. You're like, what?
So
what kind of
you put a black square like over my shoulder, in the corner moving around. You're like, oh crap, what's going on back there?
Yes. That's too funny.
This is We Can Do It, your in-house print-on-demand shop. We print everything from t-shirts and hoodies to aprons, mouse pads, and more. If you've ever wanted to create your own merchandise, we can do it and make it simple. Start by choosing one of our customizable products. Select your size. Pick your print area, front, back, or both. In this case, we printed both sides. Upload your design.
If you have an image that you found online, or
You have an image that you generated with AI, or if you drew something yourself, we can upload that for you. Any image you desire. We can even remove the background. Choose from a variety of colors. And then add it to your cart. That's it. Once we receive your order, we print it, package it, and ship it. So if you're looking for an easy way to bring your ideas to life, choose We Can Do It as your merchandising and fulfillment partner today. We Can Do It. Made to order, made simple.
But no, I am gonna put some Epstein stuff in series 3, but I'm just going off of what I can peck at, but things that are kind of overlooked. Like I'm going after the Junkerman stuff. I'm going after like money and influence. The more salacious stuff about awful things done to girls. I mean, a lot of that's been exposed, especially if you just look at witness testimony, and you could thank Ryan Dawson for a lot of that. I mean, Dawson's been doing this for, gosh.
He was the other one you mentioned. You mentioned Ryan Dawson, Whitney Webb, and one other one.
And then Johnny Vedmore.
Johnny Vedmore. Okay.
Now, Vedmore, you got to be, he must have, I don't know what kind of squirrel lives in his brain, but his website is like, it's like somebody poured neon on crack rock. Okay, it is like, whoa, it is. I mean, it's just like, whoa, wait a minute, I don't know what I'm looking at. Look at all the colors and everything's moving. Oh my gosh. But the that stuff will keep you busy for hours. And but Ryan Dawson has been like on top of this since, gosh, I guess the mid 2000s. But anyways. I'm not like, sometimes I find stuff that is like lost to history, and I think that's an important subject. I mean, briefly, I do want to show you one thing. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I'm kind of vamping here for a minute. So I do like seeing what's buried in old legislation, especially national defense authorization bills.
Okay.
Because that's where a lot of the pork gets hidden. And sometimes you see some, really, really interesting stuff that, not many people are aware of. And I think I showed this already to our mutual friend, Troubles. Okay. And let's see, where is that sucker? Oh, okay, I know where it is. This is worth the wait, I promise. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Yeah. I just got to find, where did I put that thing? It makes me so mad when I don't have things ready. I hate not being prepared.
That's my day in life.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like right around the corner. Where are you? Oh, there it is. All right, please open. Don't disappoint me. And there it is. Okay, so let me transition over here, and I will show you that in 1991, I believe, there was or maybe it was in 94. But anyways, the National Defense Authorization Act had this little provision for an amendment, and it's called the Kyle or Kill Bingaman Amendment. It's KYL.
Okay.
And in the provision, there was this limit placed on satellite resolutions over one country. Which country do you think that is?
Oh, does it start with an I and it's probably real?
Yeah, it might. Yeah. And you see that and you go, wait a minute, what's going on?
Yes.
You know?
Wow.
And
I was thinking like maybe Antarctica, but it was probably like a black hole over it. But being blurred, that's very interesting. And I could probably guess where and what part of that area that's probably blurred out too.
oh, there's quite a bit that's blurred out. In fact,
Oh.
a lot of the at the time, the West Bank settlements, that was a pretty hot topic. Okay, because that was just around the time that Clinton brokered that deal. But see, that's the kind of subject that appeals to me because
Yes.
it's lost to history. It's just another one of those puzzle pieces. You're like, oh, I didn't know that. That kind of adds some context to stuff. And not every subject is like that. I mean, there's some anybody that's done any level of curious research will go through a stack of my cards and go, okay, I know that one, I know that one, I know that one. But every now and then you're going to stop and go, oh, hey, I didn't know anything about that. Like, I don't need my other camera for this, but like, I don't know if that's coming in. Yeah, maybe I do need my other camera. So,
It's so cool though, by the way, you have that top view thing. That's awesome.
well, thanks. Oh, that's not it. Dadgummit. Sorry, I'm not really good at all this.
And wait, that one was 3?
Yeah, these are all cards that are going to be for Series 3.
Oh, okay.
This is a homemade version just so I can see what everything looks like. But there's a card I'm going to profile here about the ultimate sin, which is when the United States actually gave our atomic secrets to Soviet Russia. That's how they got the bomb. Okay? And there is a free book you can get where the Air Force officer who discovered the plot tells you everything that happened. There was a whole investigation, and it was buried. Okay? But yeah, Russia got the bomb because of the United States, man.
That's
Okay?
crazy.
Yeah. And then, oh, yeah, well.
Do you know the name of the book?
Yeah, I could find that real quick. I'm just going through the stack of cards.
I'm sorry.
No, that's cool.
And I had another question for you too, because I posted it, I think, as a shorter clip. You were recommending a specific book too.
Oh, I got tons of specific books. Dude, I can give you a ton of recommendations.
All right, cool.
And then that one's pretty fun. I actually made the banana bomb at home with a banana, and I made my own clock with some foam and a printer, and got some wires from an old coil I got in my garage. Blew it up in Photoshop. So that's all about how the United States overthrew the government of Guatemala, so United Fruit could keep their land to grow bananas and keep our grocery stores stocked with produce.
Dude, we were just talking about that with you.
Oh, okay, cool.
It was remember we found out that bananas were a berry?
That's
and
right.
tomato were a
Yeah.
smoothie?
Yeah. The banana talk hour, with the soothing sounds. Yeah.
I was like,
sounds like something on NPR. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my gosh. I listened to that over and over again. I was like laughing so hard. Like Sam, I reached out to Sam. I was like, dude, you look so tired. He was like, I was so high. I was like, oh,
yeah, I could tell.
He's Asian too, so his eyes were gone. You couldn't see it.
See, guy was good friends. One of my great friends when I used to live in Vegas was from the Philippines, and man, when that guy did his thing, it was like 2 hyphens with a nose coming at you. Okay, it was. But just I collect weird stuff, man. So like, I got this. I ought to get this graded. This is from when is this 90?
Is that a 91 pack?
This is from 89.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So this is an 89. It's supposed to mimic the old Fleer design baseball cards, but this is Dennis Hastert when he was a rookie congressman. Okay.
Wow.
And do you know who Dennis Hastert is and what he did?
He's probably gone now, right? Like he's probably passed
I
away.
think he just croaked. I think,
Okay.
but he became Speaker of the House, which means he was about 2 heartbeats away from the presidency, and he had a problem. He liked to touch little boys. Okay,
Go figure.
I know, total
Wow.
dirtbag. But then one
Yeah.
day, I can only get the card of this. One day, I'm going to own this comic book. So, okay, anybody that likes to collect really weird history like me, okay, open offer. If you could find me this comic book, I'm willing to put down some cash for it. It's called National Comics, and it's issue number 18. Okay, National Comics number 18. And the reason is on the back of this card, it even tells you. Let's see. Although cover dated December 1941, this issue of National was actually on the stands at least a month earlier. Its lead story featured Uncle Sam and dealt with an enemy attack on Hawaii several weeks before the actual Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor.
Oh, predictive programming at its
Dude,
finest.
wow.
Jeez.
The camera's going to explode because it's so awesome. Okay.
My camera's too far. I can't reach. I'll put
Yeah,
it
I
on.
know.
Throw my
So,
notebook everywhere.
see, I love that. I mean, it is tragic, I know, but this is the kind of stuff that I like. This is
You're able
this
to
is worth.
predict programming
Yeah, absolutely.
back then.
Totally.
That's insane.
It was in the zeitgeist. And then when you read about okay, so let's get to books. I mean, so I rarely stream. I have a small Rumble channel, and I'm terrible on my own. In fact, I get accused of using AI art, and so what I'll do is, if I have a card design that I'm locked in and ready to do, I will record myself designing the card in real time. Okay, and and so that way you can't say, oh, see, that's AI. I'm like, BS. Check it out. So anyways, when I have a credit roll at the end of every episode, I usually have a semi-updated list of recommended reading, but just some highlights. It depends on where you want to start. Like if you're just a normie and this is all overwhelming to you and you don't know where to start. Okay. I would highly recommend just sticking with authors that will show you the meat and potatoes of how normal history that you've read played out. And you can start with something simple, like just get every book that Anthony Sutton ever wrote.
Anthony.
Okay.
Is it spelled Anthony or Antony?
Anthony. No H. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the books are quick. And you're going to need a highlighter, and you're going to need some Post-it notes because you need it when you read books. Like, this is something else that I always recommend. And this sounds so pedestrian, but when you get a book, okay, you can't just highlight. You also have to tab it up. You also have to write notes. You have to show where they connect to other topics. And so much of these other tabs have fallen into the spine. I even got toilet paper in there, but
just in case,
dude, I did my best reading in there. This is also another good book about the Warburg family. That's cheap. You can get it anywhere. And it has a really nice section in there that breaks down the Havara Agreement. If you've never heard of the Havara Agreement, then it's because you were never taught that in school. And it is the 1933 arrangement that the Zionist Party of Germany made with the Nazis to help relocate Jews into Palestine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, is Max Warburg
He's one
part
of
of
them.
that?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was just looking at the box, and I was like, well, it's all blurry now, but on your box, number 11 says Max Warburg, and I was like, I know that name.
Yep.
Like,
and his brother, well, he was head of the German side of banking under Kuhn Loeb, the bank.
Okay.
And his brother, Paul, ended up becoming the first chairman of the Federal Reserve here in the United States.
Wow.
Okay.
Good figure.
But it's a good jumping off point. And then, here we go. This is, I don't have all my, I got books scattered all over the place. I'm just going for whatever with is in reach.
Okay.
This is probably his most famous book, Anthony Sutton.
Okay.
Wall Street and the Bolshevik Revolution, and it shows you how Wall Street and American finance pretty much created the revolution. And one of the key names you're going to get out of this is a guy named Jacob Schiff. Okay, Jacob Schiff, real dirtbag. In fact, Jacob Schiff is in series 3, and there's a moment where he actually took down President Taft.
Wow.
Okay, and this gets into some really sticky history, but the best way I can describe it is, so you got to realize there wasn't just the Bolshevik Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Russia had a couple of revolutions before that. But prior to those revolutions, the United States and Russia were partners in trade. Okay, they were friendly. And the one of the problems is that Russia was still run by a royal family. Okay, the King Peter and the Russian czars.
Yes. Okay. I was like, I know that sounds familiar. There's like a movie or a show called like The Last Czar, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it was a monarchy essentially, and the Russian version of Congress is called the Duma, Duma, and that was a product of a revolution that was co-financed by the Schiff family. Okay. And officially what you're going to read in history books is that people that were working for meager wages, and they were getting they were getting brutalized by the Tsar's regime, decided to rise up and demand representation. And so the Tsar acquiesced and formed the Duma so the people could have a voice in their own form of Congress. Actually, there's more to the story than that. And one of the reasons is that there's a certain group of people that are from that area of Russia, and they're not Russians. Okay. And they were loaning members of the royal family huge amounts of money, and as payment, the royal family was giving them land. And so these non-Russians in Russia, and so these non-Russians are charging exuberant amounts for farming, and they're also heavy into the production of liquor. And so the Tsar was having enough of this, and so he made it a rule that only native Russians could represent constituents in the Duma, and there were heavy penalties on usury. And so there was a workaround, because the United States and Russia were friendly. Then Russians would come over to the United States, and they would get they would become citizens of the United States, and then they would go back to Russia as United States citizens, because then they were allowed to buy land. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so the Tsar is furious, and he wants to eliminate that rule. And President Taft is like, well, okay, I can understand that. That makes sense. I'm cool if you're cool. Well, Jacob Schiff shows up with his crew, with the B'nai B'rith, and they go, hey, you can't do that. We want you to tear up the treaty you have with Russia. Okay, we're not doing that. And Taft set him straight and said, no. I'm not here to protect the special interests of one ethnic group here in the United States. I'm here to represent the entire people of the United States. You don't get to curry favors with me. Okay. And Schiff left that meeting famously saying, this means war. And so for re-election, see, Taft only lasted one term, and he was challenged by, because he was a Republican, and then he was challenged by previous president Teddy Roosevelt. And he joined under a third party called the Bull Moose Party. And that was to split the Republican ticket so Woodrow Wilson could get put into office. Okay.
And hence we have, isn't it income tax?
And the Federal Reserve.
And the Federal Reserve. Okay.
Yeah. And Schiff, it gets even more amazing. You know who his daddy and mommy used to live with? I'll give you a clue. It was in a little small part of Germany, where a house with a red shield hung outside.
Oh.
Yeah, Jacob Schiff's parents used to work the books for Amschel Rothschild.
Okay. That
Yeah,
makes more sense. I was like,
yeah.
wait, Hitler? But that
No,
would have
no, no,
been
no, no, no,
later.
no, no.
I'm
So
glad you clarified. I'm a retard.
no, that would be amazing though. It's like, wow, what are the odds? But
Yeah.
um,
He was a baby. No.
yeah, and so the Schiff family married in with the Rothschild family, and they also married in with the Warburg family, and so Jacob Schiff is a key player in all of this. Okay,
Mhm.
and when you hear history like that, okay, it really I don't know. To me, it's more engaging, and it helps you remember names when it's based around a narrative with motivation and revenge. And that book I just showed you, The Warburgs, touches on that. Um, let's see here. I'm just
Now,
over
how do
to
you spell Schiff? Is it SCHIFF?
IFF. Yes, sir.
That's very interesting.
And then I got a real man. This book will kill you, dude. Okay, this book, Thy Will Be Done.
Yes, that one. That's the one you were talking about in
Okay,
the last show we did.
yeah, okay. I don't know if I showed this off, but this sucker is dense, man. This, I mean, you could,
Yes.
I mean, you could take Hulk Hogan out with this. Um,
Too late.
this is a dense sucker, and you can there is you could download this book for free, I think, on Internet Archive, but
Okay.
this is I could open this book to any page and just get dropped into history, and this takes you all the way from the latter days of John D. Rockefeller, all the way up until Nelson Rockefeller's death, and
Okay.
it's dense. Every banana war we ever fought, every business relationship that the Rockefeller family created with the help of the CIA, pretty much every little tiny prince under Rockefeller that developed their own little fiefdom. I mean, you name it, it is in this book. Okay,
And who was the creator or who wrote the book?
it's co-authored. You got Gerard Colby and Charlotte Dennett.
Okay. That's what I forgot to check last time. I didn't know who it was by.
There's a bookstore that I visit. There's a bookstore that I visit a lot, and they have a hardcover there for sale. If anybody wants one, there's just a small finder's fee. I can get it for you. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
when you said Schiff, the automatic like the name, it made me think of the what is he?
Adam Schiff.
Senator. Yes. I was like, I wonder if there's any sort of relation. But when
I
you
don't
look
know
up
if there's any direct relation. I haven't really, because I mean, I just look at Adam Schiff and I want to pop his eyes with a pen.
yes.
But yeah, moving on. There's another good book you can get relatively. I think you can get it cheap, depending. I'd go hunt for this at a bookstore. I wouldn't try to order this online because it is kind of expensive.
Okay.
And this is a more fleshed out version of the Havara Agreement. And the gentleman that wrote this, his family broke ties with him after he wrote it.
Wow.
Yeah. And these are not like crackpot self-published, guys with bad BO wrote, while they were on a train ride to work back and forth for 3 years. I don't know why that's so specific, but that's the only thing I could think of. But oh gosh. Oh, one more tip. Let me
Yes.
dig under the table here. So as far as recommendations go, there's no reason not to have fun. And so if you are starting off with this kind of material, then get like a compilation book that has like a summary of like either current events or weird news.
Okay.
And so I used to I used to be into disinfo. I don't know. Did you ever get into disinformation? The company?
No, not that I can think of.
Oh man, yeah, Russ Kick, and I forget all the other people, but they published a little compendium of really neat, like short. Um, this sucks. I'm sorry. Okay, but yeah, that's not doing anything. But these are just like little short articles about interesting, strange topics, ranging from government corruption to media manipulation, cults. And there's 2 volumes that I recommend. You Are Being Lied To is one of them by Disinfo, and then the other one is called Everything You Know Is Wrong. And they're fun to flip through. I mean, keep it in the bathroom if you're bored. You're like, yeah, I just need like 18 sentences to read. Okay,
Yes.
that kind of thing.
Everything you know is wrong.
Yeah, and these are just like those are just like introductions that kind of you might read a subject and go, whoa, dude, I want to do a deep dive on that. Okay, instead of getting just like because if you start with a book like Thy Will Be Done, you're gonna die.
You're not going to be able to remember everything. Yeah, like Teddy Dynamite, he got me this book. It's called Conspiracy Theories Unveiled, but it's probably like an introduction type of thing.
Yeah.
Like
That's what I'm talking about. Those are a dime a dozen at any bookstore, and they're going to give you like the Wikipedia, LinkedIn kind of intro to
100%.
a subject. But a lot of this history, they're going to be in, they're going to be in a lot of really seriously well researched books. And that's the other thing, is knowing what books to get is tricky. Okay, if it says New York Times bestseller on it, stay away.
Yeah,
All
you're
right.
like those things come a dime a dozen. I feel like there's pro wrestlers that have books that were on the New York bestseller. It's like, well, they have a lot of fans that bought the book.
Yeah, but Hacksaw Jim Duggan is the man, and I'll read anything that guy wrote. Okay.
Yeah.
I was a big wrestling fan in the 80s.
Oh, dude, we all were. We still are.
Yeah. God, but the highlight of my life is a friend of mine got us tickets just at the entrance apron. And so as the wrestlers are coming out, I'm right there. I'm touching them as they're going by. And so there's this big match where the what were they? The Russian tag team
Nikolai
guys.
Volkov?
Yeah, that's it. And they were fighting the Australian guys, the Bushwhackers.
Oh yeah.
And so the Bushwhackers are coming out and they're doing their thing. And so, I grab him on the shoulder. I'm like, yeah, kick his butt, get him. And he turns and looks at me and he pats his head and he goes like this. And so I got to reach out and rub his head. And then I went to sniff my knuckles and like, oh God, that really smells awful,
That's awesome.
And dude, one quick story, because
you're fine.
In Houston, the Houston Rockets used to play at this venue called the Summit.
Okay.
And when WWF would come to town, they would use the Summit. And man, it was an event. And so I always wanted to go. And so finally, we got tickets, and the final match was Hulk Hogan versus Bad News Brown. And I was terrified because I thought, oh my God, this guy is so intimidating. Bad News Brown is like, he's going to kill the Hulk. And so they do the match, and this is at an age where I believed everything. Okay. I totally bought it. So they're getting to the climax and they're struggling. And so Bad News Brown stuns the Hulk and gives him, okay. So I got to explain something for all you youngins in the 80s, what a ghetto blaster is. Okay, a ghetto blaster is a gigantic radio that you walk around and hold on your shoulder and blast music, okay, in the ghetto. So Bad News Brown's special move was called the ghetto blaster. And so what it was is he like lazily jumps in the air and like taps the back of your head, and then you're out cold and totally dead. Okay. Well, he gave the Hulk 3 ghetto blasters, man. And I thought, okay, this is it. Hulk is dead. He's in a coma. Call his parents. It's over. But no, Hulk rises as the crowd is like screaming his name, and he gets up and gives him the boot and drops the leg, and it's game over. Okay. Yeah. So, oh man, I mean, and for something so fake, the fact that I can remember every detail of that is just, look, yeah, okay, it was fake, but man, things just seem more innocent then. I don't know.
Yeah, no, 100%. And it's like that's where I am with sports today. It's like, man, I can't watch wrestling, or I mean, I can't watch basketball or baseball, and all of those got put under the sports entertainment. And as soon as they did that, they made betting illegal, or they made betting legal. And
Yep.
it's like, well, then they can change whatever outcome they want. And that's professional sports. That's not even pro wrestling where it's predetermined, or like I understand the idea of it with like that you it's I look at it as like it's a soap opera for men. These guys are like better than actors because they get one take only, and
That's true.
they're not only getting one take with the speech and the talking on the mic, they're only getting one take with doing the moves in front of a live crowd.
That's
It's
true.
like they can get messed up at any time, and I'm sure it doesn't feel the best, but I mean, I know it's not the worst, but there's some guys that they took it to a whole new level with like the death matches, or like you land on thumbtacks, that's got
God,
to be
yeah.
painful.
So like years ago, I don't know, my family got this house and it came pre-installed with an old satellite.
Okay.
And so we had the box, and I don't know if you've ever played with an old satellite receiver, but you literally push on a remote which satellite you want it to point to. Okay.
Yes.
And you could hear it outside. And then, G4. Okay. And then all of a sudden you're watching the wildest stuff in Korea, or you're watching,
Oh,
weird
yes.
Brazilian, supermodel stuff, and then what's interesting is that you get to see stuff in other markets in the United States. And so I came across this wrestling show called ECW,
Oh,
and
yes.
it blew my mind. Okay. You talk about, I've never seen anything like this before. I've never seen people getting landed on thumbtacks. I've never seen explosions in the ring. My favorite is, I don't even know who these guys are, but it's clearly staged. I could see it a mile away because I hadn't been watching wrestling for years. I was just looking for something because I was bored. And so there's this guy standing in the audience, and I don't know if I can do this on camera, but his arms are out like this, and he's watching things, and it obviously stands out. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
this guy's a part of the match somehow. Okay, what's going to happen? And so, of course, the wrestlers are banging on each other, and they get out of the ring, and they're banging on each other, and they go up to where this guy happens to be. And then it turns out, oh, one of the guys, he has a prosthetic hand. And so the wrestler rips off his hand and then starts beating the guy with his hand.
You're like,
yeah. I'm like, well, that's creative. Okay. I've never seen that before. Okay.
that's hilarious.
Yeah. And I mean, you got to respect. I look, I'm a sucker for a good gimmick. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it just works. And nothing, I mean, at least for a little, for young boys, like who doesn't love Brutus the Barber Beefcake?
Yes.
That is the perfect gimmick. Oh my God.
And he didn't have normal scissors. He had freaking
he had shears, dude. And it's like, oh, he's gonna cut your head off, man. Watch out.
Yeah, really.
And I always wondered, like, where do these guys find clothes? I have
Yeah.
never seen clothes like this.
The women's section in the 80s.
I guess so. But
a large women's section in the 80s.
But anyway, sorry, that was a distraction. Now I can talk.
No, you're fine.
But yeah, so getting kind of back to see, maybe this can generate some more relatable stuff. I mean, I don't know what kind of audience you're dealing with, but
Oh, it's just my mom and my dad and my friend
okay.
Jack.
Cool. Well then, so some of the subjects for series 3, we got some teasers.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about a gentleman named James Bath. And there's a really good book called House of Sod, or House of Bush, House of Sod.
Okay.
And the let's see, do I have that book? I don't have that.
Before you go on to that, you mentioned earlier after we talked about Junkerman, you said that there was a free book. I feel like it was like an Air Force guy wrote it. We talked about the books we talked about so far was the Wahlberg, the Bolshevik.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, just give me just a second.
Okay.
I can find that real quick.
Sorry,
real
I
quick.
just didn't want to forget.
No, please. That's okay.
Taking all these notes.
Yeah. My hard drive's waking up. Come on, hard drive, wake up. I hate when the thing goes to sleep.
So House of Sod and House of Sod and Bath.
No, House of Bush, House of Sod.
Bush.
and that's a good book that talks about who James Bath is, because he's the one that introduced the Bush family to the Bin Laden family.
Oh,
That's the connection. And his record, because he was in the Civil Air Patrol with Bush, and his service record was deliberately classified so nobody would find that out.
T-shirt is just a t-shirt until you give a t-shirt a purpose. People spend millions wearing someone else's name on their back. Why not, for a change, wear your own name on your back for a start? You have a great idea, but you don't know where to begin? We do. Why not check out We Can Do It? WeCanDoItShop.com. We will help you get your idea on a t-shirt, or a hoodie, or a tote, or 10. Doesn't matter. We can do it.
you're coming back.
He does not know how to handle a stream. What a rookie. Fail. No.
You've been no listen, by the way. No.
Okay, cool. It's fine. Just listen to me panic. All
No.
right. We're I'm gonna find this sucker. Where is this? Okay. Let's do it this way. God, I got way too many dadgum books in my book folder. Is it that one? Oh, there it is. Hey, I found it. And what I'm going to do is I'll do something even special. Let me open this puppy, and let's see, can I do this? Yeah, I can do this. I can do anything. Yes. Hey. Whoops, and I got my other graphic on there from another stream. Sorry. Okay.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, this is from Major Jordan. Okay. And his full name is, there he is. That's the gentleman. And it's George Racy Jordan. Okay. This is written from 1958. Okay.
Wow.
And he details the story, and it's actually I've highlighted a bunch of it, but the pages are, they're not, it's a quick read. Okay. I mean, we're talking like almost like diary entries here. Okay. And he just goes through and shows you the documentation about how he witnessed the secret transfer of all of our atomic secrets from North Dakota to Alaska to Russia. That's right.
Oh, that's right. Okay, that's what it was about. I was like, I don't remember exactly what it was for.
Yeah.
Jordan's diaries.
So yeah, George Racy Jordan.
Okay.
See, I pulled it out. I didn't screw it up. I didn't fail. Look at that. See, he's redeemable. All right.
Yes.
Yeah. So there. Okay, stress alleviated. Now I can go mop my face. Okay.
You're like, now we can go back into wrestling talk.
Well,
No, I'm just kidding.
dude. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, what I was trying to get to is the
House of Bath.
Yeah, House of Bath.
Or Bath Bush. Yes.
Yes. So that's going to be a subject. And again, this is stuff that I actually physically make. So in the background, that's actually my front yard. I'm holding the shears because it's getting the bush trimmed. And we got our little bird bath with a bunny in it. Okay. And then in 1973, we got the famous overthrow of Chile. And that's when Allende was overthrown and Pinochet was installed.
Okay.
And I don't know if you can make that out, but it's supposed to be like the shape of the country of Chile, only like drool coming out of Casey's mouth. Okay.
That's sick.
And then we got to talk about Edward Lansdale. He was pretty much the man who came up with the concept of Operation Mongoose. And he was also instrumental in chasing down the opium trade in Southeast Asia. That was the center of the Vietnam conflict.
Okay.
This guy was sick. This guy was an intelligence officer. This guy would take advantage of local folklore, where like in the Philippines, there was a superstition of a vampire, and I think his name was Harong. I'm probably screwing that up. Sorry,
Wait,
anybody from the Philippines. Okay.
that's the name of the guy?
Well, the name of the guy is Edward Lansdale.
Okay, because I did a trivia question a while back, and it had something to do with it was like a walknut something, but it was like a vampire thing.
That's probably it. Yeah. But he
Where
would kill soldiers and drain their blood, and then spread the rumors that it was the vampire doing it.
what? Dude, that's crazy.
And then this one doesn't have a title yet. I'm working on it. The CIA and the Army, they were involved in the remote viewing, and there was a special institute they went to called the Monroe Institute of Applied Sciences, and they
Okay.
came up with something called the Gateway Program. Have you
Yeah.
ever heard of Gateway?
Is it now that's different than Operation Stargate, right?
It's related. It's not the
Okay.
same thing. It's related. Okay. Gateway is disturbing. Okay. In fact, let me give you let me
Project
just
Gateway or Operation Gateway?
no, it's just called the Gateway Project, and it was run through the Monroe Institute. And let me find that folder, and I will tell you which document you need to look for and enjoy, because it's only like 26 pages, but man, it's dense, and you're gonna have nightmares. Okay, it is a night. I mean, if you okay, do you like psychological horror, like H.P. Lovecraft kind of crap?
No, I mean, I'll check it out though.
Okay, because like I like psychological horror. To
Okay.
me, that's the stuff that scares me. And this is like if the CIA met psychological horror. Like we're talking tentacle monsters, H.P. Lovecraft, and spies. Okay,
Jeez.
and it's um what's the name of this place again?
And then
Okay,
that vampire, the name of the vampire was like the Aswang
a
Tien.
song. That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, we did that as a trivia question, like just probably a few episodes back.
yeah. And that's thanks to Edward Lansdale.
Man.
Let's see. Where is the gateway process? Yes, that's it. And there is an actual document from a member of the Army that actually attended Gateway, and he wrote a full report on it, and it's chilling. So the concept, first of all, you have to understand that a lot of this research into remote viewing was started at the Stanford Institute, Institute of Research, I think. Pretty generic name, but I'm not going to bury the lead. It was conducted by a bunch of Scientologists. Hey, okay. So, okay. Oh, here it is. Okay. I got to transfer. Man, I mean, I'm like flying through buttons, man. You got me sweating again. Oh my gosh, is he going to fail? Is he going to fail? Okay, is he? Okay. Oh, and he didn't fail. And I got that stupid. Sorry, let me get rid of that. Go away.
That's like
Sorry.
bread.
No.
Loaf of
Okay.
bread.
So long story short, sometimes when I do streams, if I want to show like a piece of news or a secret subject that is like totally screwing us over, I'll have like a different graphic going into a crack.
Okay.
Sometimes it's bread, sometimes it's a submarine, sometimes it's a skewer of sushi, and I can't get rid of that. Okay, sorry for being so offensive here. Okay, so all right. I don't know if you can make that out. But anyways, what you're looking for is a report written in 1983, and
Okay.
it is from Wayne McDonald. Okay, and he is talking about his experience, and he's breaking down what the gateway process is. And this is very short. I mean, this actual PDF is like 29 pages, but there is a missing page. Dun dun dun. Okay, what's on that missing page? I have no clue. Okay, but this is a okay. So this is kind of a deep dive. I'm trying to bottle this into something manageable. Did you get that name down?
Yes, Wayne
Okay.
McDonald
Yeah, Wayne McDonald. Okay, so if you just look that up and then gateway process, you will probably
in the
find the
Epstein
document.
files?
Do it?
In the Epstein files?
Oh, no, 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 no. This is the generic, like, search engine. You'll
Oh,
find it. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, this isn't in the Epstein files. This is an old document.
I'll be like, be surprised what you see there. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's like, well, and there's this great recipe for, like, quiche Lorraine. Wow, I didn't know that, huh? Okay, so anyways, to summarize, okay, let's see if I can break this down. Okay, so these remote viewers, the people conducting the research, they said that there was a signal to noise problem, like people would get distracted. And it's usually because they were thinking about money, or they were thinking about love and relationships. Well, there was this place called the Monroe Institute that has this special process that can help sync your brainwave pattern, so you're more focused, and it gives you clarity. And the process is through a series of things they called levels, and
Okay.
that ranges from like level 1 to like 21. But if you're going to get to level 21, then man, you better be ready, because level 21 is insane. And they're on a series of cassette tapes. And the concept is it's kind of like white noise, like you hear an ocean, or like wind, but then subtly there are these little tones, and they're the same sound, but they're slightly played out of sync, and it's slightly different frequencies. So it's like dun 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 dun. Anyways, the theory is that your brain is going to forcefully try to make those sounds synchronize, and in doing so, it focuses your brainwave activity into a more concentrated, almost laser. And if you are trying to remote view, then you can project your consciousness out into space. Okay.
Okay.
And that's not even when it gets weird. That's not even the weird part. Okay.
Gee.
Yeah. And so this, like I said, this is only like 29 pages, and it gets into Lovecraftian horror. They're like, okay. And so they break down this concept of what a hologram is. And so, okay, so the best metaphor that they use, and I'm going to try to redo it here. They say, imagine existence, our here and now. Imagine it as a lake or a pond. And if you throw a rock, it creates a ripple. Okay. Now imagine if you flash froze that ripple. As the ripple is formed, you just freeze it. And then you take that ripple, okay, and then you scan it with a hologram laser, and you create a hologram of that ripple. Well, what you've done is you have recorded that moment of time, of that physical existence. Now, because it's a hologram, you can take that image of the hologram, and if you break it like a mirror, then every single piece of that hologram will retain the original image. Now, if you take that metaphor to Gateway, what they're saying is that, okay, so imagine the frozen water is time, okay, and the hologram is space, and our brainwaves being shot into space, or consciousness having an out-of-body experience, is our ability to observe that point in time from any direction. And so they're implying that you will be able to remote view from the past, the present, and if you are really good and you reach level 21, you can even see the future. And you can even implant and formulate a conscious idea of what the future will be, and you will figure out how to make that future happen. But you got to be careful, because there are other corporal beings out there that you can encounter.
Jeez.
Okay. I mean, dude, and I'm not even scratching the surface. This is only 29 pages. Okay.
Jeez.
All right.
It's crazy.
And so obviously the card has to look like some cosmic monster eating yourself,
Yeah. And that's the one card where it looked like an eyeball and something was coming through the eyeball.
Yeah.
No, the one thing when
Oh,
you talked
shucks.
about the
What
Gate
did we do?
project, it kind of reminds me of Project Montauk, or the Montauk project. But the
Yeah.
Montauk project was more like debunked, right? with
I don't
like,
believe so because the strongest evidence for Montauk comes from the Franklin scandal. You familiar with the Franklin scandal?
wait, that came from the Franklin scandal.
No, no, no. It's linked to it. What I'm saying is the strongest evidence for it.
I got you. Like there was somebody in charge that was like taking
Well,
advantage of people.
so one of the you know who Paul Bonacci was?
The name sounds really familiar.
Paul Bonacci was the young man who was he turned evidence against Larry Frank and I'm sorry, Lawrence King, and
Okay.
he confessed to kidnapping Johnny Gosh. You know, he was one of the first kids ever to appear on a missing milk carton. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Bonacci confessed to being a part of a larger group that would go around and kidnap boys. And he also said that going back, Michael Aquino, Mr. Satan Colonel,
Yes.
he
Well, I will.
actually he paid money for Johnny Gosh and ran off with him.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Wow,
It's
I didn't know. I don't know much about Aquino. Like I have an idea of him. Like
oh
he was in the I knew he was in the military and stuff, and then he was like the Church of Satan.
dude, just look
I
at
think
his
a lot of
picture. Just Google any picture right now of Michael Aquino, and I guarantee you, the first one, it looks like it looks like somebody you wouldn't trust around your wiener dog.
no,
Okay,
he looks like the grandpa from freaking the Munsters
I know that's
in
what I'm saying, dude. Yeah.
now I get him, Anton LaVey, and Aleister Crowley or Aleister Crowley, however
Yeah.
you want to call him. I feel like I kind of get them intertwined, but they're all their own like
Well,
sect in a way.
yeah, but there's two more you need to add to the group. Okay, the other one is Jack Parsons.
Okay, that's the Scientologist.
No, he's the rocketry guy.
Oh,
Okay, he was in the Church of Thelema, and he worked with the Scientologist L. Ron Hubbard.
oh, okay, okay.
Okay,
Now, didn't L. Ron Hubbard kill Jack Parsons'
well that's
girlfriend, or was that something?
well, no, he ran off with her. Okay,
Okay,
and then he Parsons mysteriously died by a garage in an accident in his garage, which is unusual because he was always very careful and
yeah.
meticulous.
Hmm.
So there's the possibility of some sort of foul play, but no, Aquino supposed this is out of the words of Paul Bonacci, but now this is where it gets weird. So the lawyer trying to argue the case against King gets
Yeah.
Bonacci to testify, and under now Bonacci said that he has been tortured since he was a little boy and he has multiple personality disorder, and that gels with a lot of testimony and research that people that have multiple personality disorder, it stems from being abused as a child.
Hmm.
And so I forget, so he had this other persona that he could trance into, and I forget
Okay.
this personality had its own name, and this personality was testifying in court, okay, and
Oh,
said that he was a product of the Montauk experiments.
wow.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, and there's some other information about Montauk, but I mean, like we're talking like actually heard by a judge. Okay,
Yeah, not just made up by this guy that was like raping
yeah,
other guys and putting them
yeah.
in a trance in a chair.
Right. And not because, oh, it's like that Stranger Things show. No, no, no,
Yeah.
no. This was a real testimony. Now,
Wow. Okay.
um, okay, now it's a little weird. I mean, you either believe it or you don't. But a couple of things that's on the side of Bonacci is that everybody else that was going to testify King, they either changed their testimony and said they made it up, or they got killed. Or they got threatened with more jail time. In fact, one of the I forget her name, that poor girl. She was actually convicted of perjury, and she served a longer prison sentence than Lawrence King.
Jeez.
Yeah, there were.
That's crazy.
I mean, God, I got books everywhere. I got the Franklin Cover Up is a really good book, also, and
Yes.
that covers that ground.
There's a
Um,
documentary about it and Paranoid American, Thomas from Paranoid American, and Sean Chris
mhm.
from Kill the Mockingbird podcast. They have a show that they do together called Under the Docks, and they
Okay,
watch a documentary, and then they just kind of discuss it, kind
that's
almost like
cool.
It kind of reminds me of do you remember watching like the Muppet Show? Like the
Oh, I
old
love the Muppet
curmudgeons?
Show, dude. Yeah.
The old guys in the
Yeah.
corner, like not
Yeah.
that Sean or Thomas are like that at all, but just
Mhm.
it kind of reminds me of that. Like they give their
Yeah.
own point of view on it, and it's not like they're like, "Hey, this sucks." It's
Mhm.
they watch it with like a lens of like, "Hey, I'm going in blind. I'm not. I'll take it as face value, and then I'll give like an actual like real idea of it or a real review on it and stuff like that too." So I remember
Project
watching that.
Montauk. That sounds like the name of our cab driver. Oh, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah.
He's from the sod. No, I'm just kidding.
Mossad.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was thinking of something. I was like, I can't. I'm not quick enough to. I'm like, massage. You mean massage? No, couldn't think of anything that rhymed with it.
Well, that's okay. No, no, that's awesome. In fact, I wonder if they've ever covered like there's a really good documentary that I recommend to people because I do cover religious subjects, but I'm not look, I'm I'm a Christian. I read my Bible, but I have a big problem with people that take advantage of other people's faith.
Oh,
Especially when it comes to, you know, um you know about the many Bible translations and
yes,
the Schofield Bible and all that trash. Um,
yes,
and so there's this great documentary called Marjo, Marjoe, and it profiles a young man named Marjo Gortner, and it's really compelling. I think it's for free on YouTube, but he when he was really little, we're talking like 5, 6 years old, his parents trained him to be like one of these, hey, praise Jesus in a
oh,
nice white suit, and it's so cute. Look at the little preacher, just do his thing, and
yeah. I've
when
seen a
he
few of those recently.
yeah. And so when he got deep in his 20s, he was having a crisis of faith.
Yeah,
And so he hired a documentary film crew to follow him around on a circuit. And he shows you on camera all of the dirty manipulation tricks that
yeah,
these prosperity Christianity preachers use on people just, hoping that God rewards them.
yes. And it's even.
And
I mean, a lot of them like old people where they're not even there in person. They're just like on TV. They're watching them on
oh yeah,
TV
dude.
too.
And radio, he tells you
Mhm.
he tells you the whole scam. And if you then if you do a little more of a deeper dive, you realize that that's still going on today, but it's more it's gotten a fresh coat of paint. And so,
Yes,
the preachers no longer they're not walking around in powder blue suits on satellite TV. What they're doing is they got sleeve tattoos or they're wearing cowboy boots and they're hitting the streets, but they're doing
yeah,
the same thing. Okay? It's just got a different makeup job. That's all.
yes. No,
Um,
definitely.
I'm gonna have a card about hate speech because it's as tough as we think it is in the States, it's way worse in Europe.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
People get knocked at the door. Um,
for posting stuff on Facebook.
yeah. And then the Jewish Defense Organization was the militant arm of the ADL, the Anti Defamation League. And
Okay.
dude, these guys were extreme. Okay. They okay, I don't know what I can say on here. I gotta be careful.
Oh, you can say
But
whatever.
okay, so like there was a so I think it was where was it? Um is it Tennessee? I think it was Tennessee. Dang it, I forget. But some clown decided to file a permit with the Park Service saying that on this particular date, there's going to be a march of the KKK. And we're going to have banners that say black people are stupid and white people rule. And we're going to bring fire and we're going to, and it was just the most dog whistle stuff you've ever seen. And it turns out the guy was the head of the Jewish Defense Organization, just trying to bait people to come out and start
Yeah.
a fight. Okay,
I feel like that happened recently.
dude, it
There was a
happens all
guy
the
that was
time.
like but there was a guy that was like, I think his last name was Klein, and he
Mm.
was wearing like, not military uniform. He was wearing like, I think like a camo jacket and like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the freaking Confederate flag stuff.
yeah.
But he was a Hebrewski. He wasn't even an American, or I mean,
But
he was American, but he was there kissing a wall, and then
Yeah.
but then he's dressed like this, protesting and promoting stuff, and I
Yeah.
think the crowd grabbed him, and I don't know if they pepper sprayed him, but they grabbed him off a Capitol stairs area, and it wasn't like the main Capitol, it was like Capitol of some other city, and, they pulled him off and stuff and dragged him out, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening to our own people," and it's like, this guy is pretending to
Yeah.
be far right, even though I don't agree with what he's saying in general to begin with, he's pretending to be that.
Mhm.
He's that face of that, and then that's what they show on the news. And you're like,
That's
"Why
right.
are the news even picking this up?" It's all
It's staged, man.
programming. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
all
it's totally staged.
programming, brainwashing, all that stuff.
And it's not like these things have to happen to everybody. It just needs to happen to, like, 12, 15% of
Yes.
people. That's it. It just needs to be enough to gain a little momentum, and that's a success. I mean, people like us, we think about these big, broad, overreaching strategies to manipulate minds, and no, 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 no. It just has to work on a certain market, if you want to call
Yeah.
it that. Um, I'm going to profile Operation 40, which is the hand select team that Ike put together, President Eisenhower, to
Okay.
take out Castro. And the problem is that once the Bay of Pigs failed and Operation Mongoose got torpedoed, these guys had nothing to do. Well, that's not exactly true, because some of these people are like Frank Sturgis and Barry Seal, other guys like David Ferry. They were eventually transporting guns and drugs in and out of South America into the United States.
Yeah. Wow. So, okay, that's my realm. I love the idea of, not I love the idea. I get really turned on. No, I get pumped up with, like, Barry Seal, Gary
Yeah.
Webb, the Narcos type stuff where they were bringing stuff in Iran Contra, like, them bringing drugs into the United States and then masking it as if, like, it's the drug cartel that's doing it, but instead it's the CIA that's actually doing it to
Oh man, I
under
got
the
like
guise
tons of
of,
books on that.
but I didn't know, so Barry Seal was involved
Yeah, totally,
somehow?
dude. There's a great book by a guy named Daniel Hopsicker,
Okay.
and it's called Barry and the Boys.
Barry and the Boys.
And the front cover of the book is a photo in a restaurant in Mexico of all the members of Operation 40 posing for this photo,
Wow.
and they're all
So
there.
so wait, alright, so this is where it's crazy to me. Alright, I think of, like, Barry Seal. I mean, shoot, I mean, this was back in the, like, what, the '80s when he got killed? Or was
Oh
it,
yeah,
like, early
yeah.
'90s?
It was 80 because Bush was still in office, so I think it was 89, 80.
Okay.
I think, yeah,
Yeah, '89 Bush would
yeah,
have been in. I mean, because like, what's his name? Reagan was just out, I think, by '86
yeah.
or
Because
8.
Barry Seal, when he died, he had Bush's phone number in his pocket.
Wow. So how old would he have been probably back in the '80s? Like, do you think he would have been 40?
Oh, I'm not exactly sure. I know I'm sure you've probably seen there's an actual local news clip where a heavy set, rotund Barry Seal is taking this news reporter on a plane and showing him where he hid the cameras. Have you seen that?
And is that where they could take pictures of Pablo
Yeah,
Escobar?
yeah, yeah. And he's
Mm.
actually showing the local TV news anchor there in Florida, what
Oh
he
my,
did.
yeah, and then that's how they probably linked it, like, "Look, now the cartel knows. That's how you got taken out." It's like, "Oh,
Well, oh man, his story. But Daniel Hopsicker's book is fantastic. Unfortunately, he passed away like a year or two ago. But
okay."
that's a great book about Barry Seal and what it connects to. And uh, you learn about interesting characters like a guy named George Dooley or Doole. I don't know how you pronounce it. Doole. But he was one of the CIA's fronts for Air America and all the biggest. I mean, the biggest airline in
Mm,
the United States was running drugs and guns for the CIA, and it
okay.
was all thanks to this guy named George Dooley. Um,
Jeez. Now, have you ever seen there, oh, I can't remember his name. I think his first name's Danny. I can't remember his last name at all.
Castellaro, the octopus conspiracy.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
I just watched it. I was like, that is amazing. I mean, I watched it probably over a year ago, but
Yeah.
like when it first came out, but I was like, that's so sick. And I wish they did more with it, but I mean, who knows? It could be even tied. I was thinking like this has to be tied to the stuff that Epstein was in for
Well,
sure.
yeah, absolutely, because it links up with the Promise software scandal. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And see, the thing is that like one of the things that Epstein discovered and Maxwell is that you don't need to spend a lot of money like flying women all over the country and the globe, getting blackmail on people, getting, because that takes money, dude. That takes hotel reservations. When all you got to do is have some spy software and then find out what all these people have been looking at and then blackmail them with that.
Yeah. Man.
It's oh yeah, that's Castellaro stumbled onto that. I don't just pick on the United States. We got to go after Japan. This is the unit that I'm sure you're familiar with Operation Paperclip, where we brought in a bunch of German scientists. Well, Operation Paperclip also brought in a bunch of Japanese scientists.
Wow.
Yeah. And they were doing horrible things, infecting people with all kinds of germ warfare, cutting them open, freezing them, seeing how they reacted when you flayed them open during a pregnancy. I mean, it was just brutal stuff.
Wow.
And they brought them all back to Fort Detrick in Maryland, and that's kind of where we started our biological weapons program from what the Japanese did.
It's crazy. And then what was that? PIMG?
Oh, ping. Let me blow that up. Sorry, Ping Fan. That's the name of the camp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Now it wasn't a Japanese camp in the United States. That
No. This was done on Chinese folks. Some prisoners of war, some Americans. Yeah. And this is where, oh gosh, it's pretty grisly, and I'm forgetting a lot of details. My mind's kind of like about to explode. But then I just want to shoot through these real quick here.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, that's cool. I don't know if you recognize the man on the left.
Uncle Samuel.
Yeah, the guy on the right is
that Stalin?
No, that's Lord Kitchener, and he was a very popular British officer. And a couple of years before the famous poster of Uncle Sam was made by that artist Flag, the British had their own recruitment poster with this Lord Kitchener fellow, and they look exactly the same. So Uncle Sam was a clone, almost like a bootleg version of the Lord Kitchener poster, and it came from a propaganda group called Wellington House. And they worked in conjunction with the propaganda arm of the government during World War I to sell the idea of a war in Europe to the public.
Wow. And I wonder if they took Uncle Sam and they just added all the American flair, like the George Washington type uniform.
Yeah. That was on purpose. Yeah, they deliberately used the Kitchener poster as a reference.
Wow.
Because if you look at them side by side, it's the exact same pose. Kitchener's pointing a finger. I mean,
but he looks
same
slightly different. Like he's got a mustache.
Well, yeah, but Kitchener's a real guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was just used because he was popular among British soldiers.
Dude, I am learning so much today. Hopefully,
that's cool.
My friend Jack are learning so much too.
All right. Well, hopefully, okay. Well, that's a good thing. All right. Hey, and then got to get us some health news, like aluminum and all the nasty stuff it does to your brain, and how it's like in almost everything. In fact, it's anyways, aluminum. Okay.
Like I heard the leading reason why people are not the leading reason, but the people that have Alzheimer's, they have high levels of metal and aluminum.
Yep. And it's and it's like
I'm forgetting. I gotta take my hat off. No.
That always bothers me though when people call it tinfoil. It's aluminum foil, folks. It's not tinfoil. If it was made of tin, then a roll of that stuff would be really expensive. Okay, tin is not cheap. Right? Oh, that kills me. But yeah, there's a couple other surprises. That's all the preview teases I have right now for Series 3. But I'm about maybe a month away from finishing it.
Okay.
Maybe depends on
Nice.
I mean, I got a lot going on this week, and it's just whatever I can get to it. If I am lucky and I am like really just pushing that rock, maybe I can finish 2 or 3 subjects a week. You know,
Wow.
um,
So let me ask you this: with your box set,
yeah, yeah.
you will be completed in like a couple months with the entire box set, but then
Uh,
you'll have to ship it out to get printed.
yeah.
It's
Well,
not
I mean,
like
okay. So, all right. I mean, the reality here is that like I will have everything digitally done, but then I have to go to card shows. I have to continue
Mm,
sales to get the money for the print run,
okay.
and that process is indeterminate. It's I get I put an order in, and then the print company gives me that number, and
Mhm.
it's like, okay, this is the goal, and this is what I got to meet.
Yes.
And whenever I get that done, because I know like and I'm trying to stay away from this. I mean, maybe there's a little too much behind the scenes, but like when I first did all this, I finished a set of Series 1 cards, and I made, I want to say, like 10 sets by hand. And
Oh,
I sent those to other content creators that I really respect. And not content creators that, had like giant, huge numbers, but content creators I respect because like people like Richard Grove at Grand Theft World, I really respect that man. Okay, that guy has a library that I would drool over, and that's like my mental gymnasium. That's where I go to work out. I go to his show every Sunday night. In fact, it's on tonight, but
oh,
or I'll catch the rerun. But you want your brain to explode and go like, oh my god, what how come I never knew this? What? Just watch Grand Theft World, listen to Richard Grove, and just get every book he recommends.
nice.
Um, so I sent him some, and and that's what I cared about. I want to know what they think. And when somebody like a Richard Grove says, "This is cool. I really like this. This is a really fresh twist on all
Yes.
this material." That to me was like, okay, all right, good. And so then I would just grind away, and I would get people to commit to ordering cards either with a deposit or with
Mhm.
just an agreement. So when I reach my number, I can say, okay, send in the money, and then the print run can start. And I
Yes.
hit my goal. But the problem is that when all those people that were just agreeing, when it was time, like 75% of them didn't put down a deposit.
Dang.
And um so I had to really scramble, and I did a lot of extra side work because I do work for myself to go ahead and finish the print run, and I got it done. And then the second series, I did the same thing, only this time you got to go ahead and put down a down payment, okay?
Yes.
And
Now, did you do like a Kickstarter or anything like that?
no, I didn't do a Kickstarter only because I don't like those, because here's the problem I have with them, or at least my understanding of it, is that you go on Kickstarter, you put all this content up there, you make it all flashy and dashy, and they give you a link, and it's still your job to promote it, and then
Yes.
they still get a cut. And it's like, well, I can just do that myself.
Yes. Okay. I didn't know they get a cut. I just thought like
Dude, yeah.
it was like a ad replacement type of thing.
And yeah, but you don't get anything out of it other than the fact that it seems legitimate because you're on Kickstarter or GoFundMe.
Yes.
And my feeling is that, look, if I can go ahead and just do it myself, because number one, I don't know what I'm doing, and number two, look, you're either into this or you're not. I realize this doesn't have a big giant broad range of appeal, but you know, apparently there's enough when people are into things like Stranger Things, or
Yes.
people get excited when they learn that there's going to be a new cable show about MK Ultra. People get
Mhm.
excited about that kind of stuff. There's still a large group of people out there that like to, maybe not, I mean, dive into it as deep as we might, but at least, you know, I don't know. It's kind of like an X Files itch they have to scratch. I don't know. But so for series 2, I got people to commit, and it took me a little longer, but I hit that goal. And so my goal has always been now is to drop all that commitment stuff. Just enough is enough. I should be able to go to enough conventions and make enough online sales to afford a print run for Series 3. I just feel like that way I don't, it's not like, okay, well, I'm coming at you again. Can you please, open up your pocketbooks and, no. Okay. I don't want to do that because I think it's lame when people do it to me. Okay. Right.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Man.
And so so the long answer is that, I can have everything digitally done in about a month, but then it's going to take some time, to go ahead and get, hit that number. And then once I hit the number, it's about anywhere between like 4 to 7 weeks, for printing.
Oh, you there?
I'm not pushing myself to anything that's, going to disappoint me. So I'm guessing I'll be ready to actually print by maybe middle of the fall, maybe start of the summer.
Man,
I'm sorry,
that's so sick.
start of the winter.
Okay, man. Yeah, it's like I was even looking into just like just random cards. Like Swank is working on a few things and stuff, and I was like, well, how much can you? I think when we looked at like where Paranoid American can get his stuff, and it's just like, holy crap, man, these things aren't cheap. Like to make one, and like you're making one, and you're printing just one, but how many copies of that one do you want? Like, are you
Yeah.
doing 10 copies? Are you doing 300 copies? And then you have to do that per thing. And it's just like, man, I don't think people understand what goes into that side of things too. It's like, all right, you made like 297 cards per box, but how many boxes do you
Well,
have? And
it
how many
breaks
of
down to like 255 cards per box, I think.
okay, sorry.
Yeah, but the set is 279. There's a really sweet person that does her own stream, like cryptidbits. I think that's the name of her show. And she got a box of Series 1. It was like I only had like 5 boxes left, and she got one of the last ones. And she couldn't wait. She did a live unboxing right there on her show, and she was just losing her mind. And I thought that was really cool. But this, and then there are people that come to the shows like, dude, okay, so yesterday I did a show at a place called the Macabre Market, and it was in the dingy side close to one of the airports here in Houston, and it's near the University of Houston, and it's by this place called the Orange Show, and everybody from Houston knows that there's this weird eclectic pocket of people near that area, and there's this house property or whatever, and somebody decided to just weld a bunch of random art together, and it's called the Orange Show. Well, anyways, they have this big giant concrete building, and it is just gutted. It looks like the set of like the end of a Jason Statham movie where he kicks somebody's ass,
Yes.
And so a whole bunch of the rules are simple. You can only bring stuff that you make. And so you got people showing up there who make their own candles, make their own shirts, make their own, jewelry, whatever. And then you got me. Okay. Yeah. And so about every, I don't know, about every third show that I do, somebody gets mad at me, usually. Okay.
Yeah, you were telling me at the beginning there's going to be some drama. I was like, oh.
Yeah, and but most of the people love me. Okay, so I mean, whatever. I mean, I walk out of there. I walk out of there with a small profit, and that's fine. As long as you see, one of the advantages I have, I believe, is like when I go to these big Pokemon shows and these sports card shows, you got guys there that are trading and buying really hard to find expensive cards. I mean, one guy showed me a card, and he said, see this card? Oh yeah. He says this card is worth like $900. Like, holy cow, and he says, yeah, I paid a guy $1,100, and I'm going to sell it for $13. And I got to thinking about that, and I'm like, so out of all of this, you're going to make $200.
Yes.
And so you got some high margins, Jack. Okay. That is some high margin, and I have low margins. Okay. So as long as I like double my table or better, then it's a great night. Okay. I'm happy. And I do that and more just consecutively, and that speaks volumes. I mean, there are people here local to Houston that only go to certain shows if they know I'm going to be there,
Wow.
and I think that's great. And that's
Yes.
not. I mean, it's not a lot. I mean, yeah, the majority of people, especially at like a Pokemon show, they go, "Oh my God, what is this? This guy's weird. I'm out of here." You know. So, and that's fine. It's not for everybody, and I'm not stressing over that. But anyway, so, um, yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was storming and there was lightning and thunder crashing all over the place, and um, but there's like one or two people in a group. They'll go through my binder and there's a couple of cards in there that get into some spicy stuff,
Mm.
and they're easily triggered, and and they have all these instant preconceptions as to what they think I am and what this card is, and I shouldn't be allowed in certain places. A couple it was like 2 months ago I was at a show. By the way, most of these shows are free entry. It's not like you guys even paid to be there.
Yeah, walk away from my table,
Yeah.
please.
Dude, I'm the one who paid money, not you. Eat it. Okay.
Yeah.
So and so they'll post like nasty comments, to the organizers of the show on their social media. It's like, oh, you shouldn't have this guy. He's a racist Nazi, and
Jeez.
he should be banned. And it's like, my God, can you do you understand how to be civil? I mean, if you don't agree with something, then have a better idea.
Yes.
I mean, what do you make? What do you express?
Yep.
Anyways.
And then they dye their hair blue, and you're like, "Oh, I see why." No.
Yeah, no kidding. All right.
Yeah, that's
give me just a second here.
Oh, yes.
I got a little wiener dog here that wants to hop
Oh,
around
no
with
worries.
kitties. Hold on, just a second. All right.
My dog's over here crying. I can hear him through the door whining. It's just the puppy. But oh, there you go.
Okay, he's getting a little excited. He's an old man. Let's say hi there.
Jeez.
Okay. Yeah, he's got a little weak bladder, so
Oh
we're
no.
just trying to make him comfortable. Okay, I know, buddy.
Man,
He sleeps a lot.
that's awesome.
Oh, okay. I'm a softie when it comes to my wiener dogs. Used to
Oh
have,
man. You have multiple?
well, it did, but lost his brother a little while ago. But
Oh, geez.
yeah, but he's quite the he used to be quite the spry guy. Had him since he was a pup.
Oh, that's awesome. I got two myself. I had one, or I mean, I had three, but it was like only lasted 3 weeks, and the oldest one passed away. But
Oh yeah,
they're definitely my best buddies. I don't
I
have
know,
kids,
they're just
so
so
they're my
loyal, and they're so temperamental too. Stubborn, but man, they're loyal. And he has his
yes.
ear scratched. Okay, buddy. All right. You need to go whiz? I'll put you over here on the bed. Okay.
That's awesome. He has his own collection of cards.
No, just his own collection of really soft stuff to sleep on.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. I got my room looks like a playpen for kids, but it's all dog toys and bones and all.
Yeah, as long as you don't chew on them, right?
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
step on them walking back from the bathroom at 4 in the morning, like, "Ah,
Yeah.
step on a sharp bone," or like one of the plastic ones they just gnaw on or whatever.
So what I did promise, I'm going to have to wind this down, is I did
Oh, no
promise that I
worries.
would go ahead and open a pack of cards on
Cool.
camera, and then anybody watching this, the first one that can email me or instant message me, I'm easy to find, and answer my special trivia question, I will
Nice.
mail the contents of a pack of cards. Okay? But you got to live in the United States. Okay? I can't just ship this to Sweden or South Korea or, God forbid, Australia. Okay? Because man, that's a little pricey. Okay? So if I'm going to switch over to my fancy schmancy cheap camera here, and let's
And
put a bag of cards here.
I did find one of your original packs.
Hey, all right.
I was like, oh man.
Now, for anybody that might be in the Houston area, there are still a couple of card shops around town that are selling my cards, and I think they are probably the only ones that have any Series 1 packs available, because I am completely dry.
Jeez.
There's even a couple of gun stores that are selling my cards because they're awesome.
Oh, that's friggin' sick. Jeez. Yeah, I'll talk to this. I got a comic book / card store in my downtown. I'll drop your name and stuff. I have your card and everything. So
Sweet. All
got
right,
your comic book
so
card.
the lucky recipient will get a gold border George Soros. Okay.
Oh,
Fancy story there. Oh, this is a great one. The gold border story about a summer school that American students could go attend in Soviet Russia.
wow.
And this is another spicy card. This is Plylar v. Doe. This is the Supreme Court case that mandated that illegal alien children have to be educated in our schools.
Jeez.
And this is a gold border about outcome-based education. The book authority on this is by Charlotte Iserby, and it's called The Deliberate Dumbing Down of America. And it's about how corporations purposely created classwork to mimic tasks that they would need for new employees. And then I spend a lot of time. There's at least 7 cards devoted to the P2 Masonic Lodge in Italy, and how they were laundering money through the Vatican Bank and in control of Italian politics during the years of lead. And for a good book on that, I would recommend God's Banker.
And then you said what kind of lodge? Masonic?
Yeah, the P2 Masonic Lodge.
Okay. God's Banker.
And then there's a gold border of Skull and Bones, everybody's favorite secret society. Members like George Bush and John Kerry and quite a few others. And Anthony Sutton has a free book online all about Skull and Bones.
Wow.
And then we have a silver border about the sinking of the RMS Lusitania. This is one of the reasons that drug us into World War I, and I think it's more interesting than the sinking of the Titanic.
Wow.
In fact, one of the most famous people from Houston was involved. The guy on the left, that's Colonel Edward Mendelhouse, and he's buried here in Houston. Sometimes I go by his grave, and when nobody's looking one day, I'm going to pee on it. Okay.
I wonder if Sam would be interested. What from Web of Mysteries to
Maybe
learning.
be a
He
cool
loves the
field
Titanic.
trip. But anyways,
Yeah.
so we got a simple, easy trivia question. So it's tied to current events, everybody. All you got to do is reach out to me. I have an easy-to-find email on my website at plunderworld.com. You can also find me on Plunder World Cards on Instagram. So if you're paying attention to current events and everything that's going on over there in that Persian country, we have done this before. And there was a special operation called Operation Ajax that got rid of Mossadegh and installed the Shah of Iran. Now, there's a member of the Roosevelt family that was heavily involved. All you got to do is email me the name of that member of the Roosevelt family, and you're a winner. But you got to be the first one. Easy?
Yeah.
Easy. Okay.
And then I opened up the one from your 1 pack. Let me see. I got George Counts.
Ooh, that's the guy who invented social studies, and he was an admitted communist, and he
Like
made
from
social studies to turn us all into collectivists.
Wow.
And you can read all his information online too.
Then I got DDT, is Jake the
Of
Snake
course.
finishing move.
I wish it was about that. Okay, I wish that'd be so awesome.
Always turn it into wrestling.
'Cause that's what kills mosquitoes.
Yes. Guy Rothschild.
Yeah, Guy de Rothschild of the French Rothschilds. That was his mansion, and his parties are what the ending scene of Eyes Wide Shut is based on.
Whoa. Okay. Then I have Strategy Tension.
Strategy of Tension. Yeah, that's actually about Operation Gladio and all the stay-behind networks in Europe that the U.S. set up after World War II.
Okay.
It involves the years of lead in Italy.
Wow. It's like the 9/11, the Italy 9/11. No, I'm kidding. It just had the Leaning Tower of Pisa and a plane crashing into it. John Lilly?
Yeah, John Lilly, the Mr. I Love Dolphins guy. But before he was into dolphins, he built a brain map, and he's the one that developed the concept of computer learning to act more like human beings.
Jeez, almost like AI.
Yep.
The District of Columbia Organic Act?
Yeah, that's the one that basically turned everybody from a people to citizen. And so now you're a corporate entity.
Holy crap. I'm learning so much just from pulling these. Um, and then this one looks like it's a silver card.
Ooh,
Point
you got
nine
a
nine nine.
shiny.
Yeah, it's I thought it was Abraham Lincoln, but it's not. It's Sherman Silver Purchase Act.
Yes, the silver. Yeah, that's the act that mandated an increase in silver purchase to plummet the price.
Oh man, these are so sick. And then do you care if I open a pack of
I don't care, do
Paranoid
whatever,
American?
dude. Hey, man, yeah, the stuff. That guy, he makes so much amazing stuff. Okay?
Yes.
That is the Willy Wonka of conspiracy stuff. Okay,
It's like the
we
perfect
need. He needs like some black colored Oompa Loompas,
oh,
that work with him, that wear baggy pants and sing songs. He needs to.
oh, and it came with some stickers too.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the reptilian pinup
Nice.
girl sticker. I have a sticker book that I post stickers in. DB Cooper.
Yeah, he's the guy who ran off with all the money in Oregon. A nice Fleer homage.
Wow.
He was telling me how he makes those, and the process he goes through is crazy.
Yes. I got a Alex Jones.
Oh yes, I got that one too. Yep. No
Uh,
tops retro.
yes. That's so nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
Um, Tex Mars. He
Oh yeah,
kind of
Tex
looks like
Mars. Yeah.
he looks like that Aquino guy a
I
little
tried
bit.
to get that guy to officiate my wedding. He was out of Austin. He's not around anymore. I got a bunch of his books. He used to be on local public access. The guy's crazy, but really cool.
And then this one is a specialty custom toys. This is his Bohemian Grove playset.
Yes, I saw the commercial for that. That's pretty funny. Mhm.
I'll post the commercial right now. No. I think I do have it on here. I'll add it. Post production. And then the Illuminati Yacht Club.
Oh yes.
That was his project that he did with Donut.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll do one more if that's okay. Do you want me to do another one of yours or another one of his?
No, I don't care. I mean, it's you're running this.
All right. All right, I'll do one more. Sorry. I'll do one more Paranoid Americans. I'll save yours for bigger shows.
Oh Lord.
No, I'm just kidding. I try to get whenever I do like the Speak and Code podcast episodes, I try to do those ones with all of the guys. So
Yeah.
like me and three other guys, but they couldn't make it last minute. So I was like, I can't make this a trauma dumping episode. This has to be a Speak and Code episode with all the oh man. Okay, so I got all of the actual. I got the Bohemian Grove. I got the Mars guy, Alex Jones. Those are the same cards, and then I got a Adrenochrome Coke Zero sticker.
Gotta love it. Yep.
Yeah, and then I got Jose Delgado. For
Oh
MK.
yeah. He's the MK Ultra doctor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got LaVaylor Swift. It looks like
Oh
Anton
yeah,
LaVey's
Anton LaVey,
daughter.
Taylor Swift. Yeah.
What's his
Funny.
daughter's name?
She married Michael Aquino.
Really?
Yeah. God,
Oh, I
what's
didn't
her
know
name?
that.
Yeah.
She's died.
She's
She's
still
still
around. Yeah.
Okay. Some people are like, "Oh, she turned into Taylor Swift."
That's the rumor. But she's
Yes.
way too young. No, Swift is way too young. No.
Yes. No,
Unless he had
definitely.
another daughter. I don't know. Oh no, wait a minute.
No.
Was it Anton LaVey's daughter or wife? No, it was Yeah, it was his daughter. Yeah.
Yeah, not that Taylor Swift is Anton LaVey's daughter,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
that she died and got reincarnated or cloned
Okay.
into Taylor Swift, I think.
Kind of like that whole thing of like Barbara Bush was like the homunculus daughter of Aleister Crowley.
Yes.
You're-
Oh my gosh. That is so funny. Oh, can't open the box. All right. And then I'll do one more of yours, but this one will be the from the second deck, from the Plunder World second deck,
Series 2.
or series 2, sorry. My deck.
That's
It's not a
whatever.
deck of cards. I suck at opening these rubber gloves. I have no feeling. I'm like, should have got tighter ones, not the all fitting gloves.
Yeah, I hate not having feeling when I'm using something made of rubber. That's quite a stretch, you know.
Yes.
Yeah,
For a lot, not lack of a stretch.
yeah.
Um all right, so I got the Norman Lears Center.
Oh, dude, that's dark. Yeah, that's basic. God, that's a long story. But you could see all of their information on their own website, in which they teach Hollywood producers, content makers, how to nudge audiences to change their political views.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
I believe it. I mean, you just
And
throw a
Norman
few
Lear,
words.
he's the guy who made All in the Family, Jeffersons, Sanford and Son, all those old TV shows.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Jeez. This one is Scientific Tyranny.
Yeah, scientific tyranny. It's mainly about the National Academy of Sciences. Have you ever been there or seen pictures of it?
No, never heard
Okay,
of it.
so those images on the front are actually mosaics on the ceiling rotunda of the National Academy of Sciences, and it's chilling because they treat science like a religious god, and
Oh, okay.
that should tell you something. That's how they want you to look at science. That is your god. That is your
Yes.
religion.
Trust the science. Sorry,
Hmm.
I need fingers. And then this one is Kim Philby.
Yep, the British spy who actually was who defected to Soviet Russia, stole a bunch of
Is,
secrets from MI6 and the CIA.
is Kim a female?
No, that's actually his nickname. He was
Oh,
named after a book by Rudyard Kipling called Kim.
oh, okay.
No, that's not the name of the book, but that's a character in the book.
Okay. I'm learning so much today, man. Thank you so much, James. Wisconsin Yoder.
Oh, Wisconsin v. Yoder. That's a Supreme Court case where the state of Wisconsin wanted to take children away from Amish families and force them into public school. Went all the way to
Wow.
the Supreme Court.
That's, oh my gosh. Talking about protecting the children today.
Yeah, yeah.
It puts a whole new thing on it. Evelyn D. Rothschild.
Yes, Evelyn de Rothschild. He's the one who famously pointed the finger at Prince Charles's chest, and he was the one married to Lady. What's her name? She's connected with Ghislaine Maxwell. God, my brain's fried. But anyways, you know how they met? They met
Oh, Lynn
through
Forrester.
Lynn Forrester. Thank you. They
Okay.
met through Henry Kissinger, and you know where they had their honeymoon? For some reason, they decided to have their honeymoon at the White House with the Clintons. That's a weird place.
Yes, it is.
See-
Speaking of with the presidents and it being weird, what's the girl? She's married to John Legend.
Oh, I don't know.
She would
Christina something.
no,
I
she would always
don't-
they asked her during an interview, they were like, "What's the craziest place you ever did it?" And she was like, "What about that thing with the Obamas?" He was like, "Oh, we ain't talking about that." I can't remember her name. She's not important. I don't like her. And Giulio Andreotti.
Yeah, Giulio Andreotti. He was prime minister of Italy during the years of lead, and he turned his back on one of the previous prime ministers being held hostage, named Aldo Moro, and let him get murdered. He was totally controlled by the P2 Masonic Lodge in Italy. That's part of the whole Years of Lead series I did in series 2. There's about 7 cards related to that.
Oh, wait. You opened that one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I had the one that I said looked like the pizza or it was a strategy tension.
Yeah, strategy of tension's related. That's part of Operation Gladio, and that's
Okay.
that's sort of it's a big long story. You could spend 5 episodes just talking about Operation Gladio and the P2 Masonic Lodge, but they are related.
I'm down if you are one day.
One day.
Then the last one is the Open Society.
Yep, that's That's
Yes.
George Soros's creation. That's the one that pretty much goes in and stirs up and foments revolutions among the youth about stupid topics like whether or not you can have you know blue hair and turn kids trans
Jeez. Yeah,
and
go for
it's really devious too. Like, oh hey, you know what? These guys they're going to use hard drugs, so we should have tax funded clinics where they can use these hard drugs safely. And then, oh
Jeez.
yeah, you're going to smoke crack anyway, so let's have a program where you can get glass pipes for free in the mail.
Oh my
We're just going to
gosh.
tolerate deviancy until there's no standards left in the entire dadgum country. You
Holy
know?
crap. Well, and then I'll do the 5 questions for you if that's okay with you. I'll let you guess some trivia questions.
Okay, I'll probably lose every one of them.
No.
Okay, man, I'm on a sweat. Okay, all right.
Conspiracy trivia.
So there's 5 different topics. There's aliens, tech, mythos, which are like myths and legends, random, and then schemes.
Let's
So
go schemes.
schemes. All right. It is who claims to have survived over 600 US government lead assassination attempts? A. Donald Trump, B. Kim Jong Un, C. Vladimir Putin, or D. Fidel Castro?
Castro.
You got it right. All right. The next one is aliens. And then you guys could all play along. This isn't just between me
Don't
and
let me,
James. You guys
let
can
me
play along.
get you to the answer, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pause it.
Was I
As soon
supposed
as
to put that in the form of a question?
Yeah. No.
All right.
All right. After the question, just pause it, think about it, and then go back. Or after the answers, then pause, then play again. All right. This one is aliens. How do children provide enough emotional energy to power the Mars colonies? A. Singing. B. Screaming. C. Running on a treadmill. Or D. Laughing.
Screaming? I don't know. Oh,
You
God.
are
Okay, all right.
you are
It had to
correct.
be. It had to be something awful. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, kids, you're like, oh, of
Right.
course they're playing and having fun.
Tickling.
No,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Sure.
nope, it's frazzle drip all over again. No,
Jeez.
sorry, too soon.
No, to tsunami.
All right, this one is tech. What spin-off TV show was canceled shortly after predicting the events of 9/11?
The Lone
A.
Gunman.
Wow, you didn't even
Dude,
let
I
the
got the box
answers-
set. I watched that episode like all the time.
That's awesome. Well, anyway, if your friends want to listen and play at home, it was Young Americans, The Lone Gunman, CSI, Cyber, or Baywatch Nights. It was B, the Lone Gunman. All right. The fourth one is Mythos. Mary Toft convinced King George I that she had given birth to what? A. Trees. B. Rabbits. C. Fairies. Or D. Gremlins.
Rabbits.
Holy crap, man! You're 4 for 4. This is the most insane thing I've ever seen in
Okay. All
the
right.
show. We've never had anybody doing this good. All right, so this one's the 5th and final one.
No pressure. No pressure. Okay. 5 for
Yeah.
5. Let's do it.
Oh
Feeling
man, it's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? No.
Come on, bring it.
Tom Cruise divorced each of his 3 wives after they did what? A. Turned age 33. B. Took a picture standing taller than him. C. Wore a red dress at a award show. Or D. Questioned Scientology.
Scientology.
What would have been your second guess?
Red dress.
Nah.
Dang. Oh no.
Turned age 33.
Dadgum.
But still, you have the best. I've never seen a record like that before. I think the highest we've ever had was somebody guessed 3. I think it was Sam from Web of Mysteries. He guessed 3 of them.
All right. Well, that means I'm only going to slash one of my wrists tonight. Okay.
You're like, I'll do it the short way. No.
Yeah.
Sorry, too soon.
Yeah, it's all right. I'll just jump off my second story. Yeah.
Yes. And then, James, do you want to go ahead and plug everything?
Yeah, like I said, you can find me at plunderworld.com. It's the quickest, fastest way to make an order. I'm doing everything down and dirty. My shopping cart is a little messed up only because that's how I can keep costs low. I'm only charging 65 a box, and that's free shipping. So if you think the shopping cart is a little messed up, it's just so I can keep everything as cheap as possible, okay? And then if you want to see preview art for series 3, sometimes show appearances on other people's streams, like the one you're watching right now, or even when I might be at a convention in Houston or in Texas, or hopefully one day Canada. I don't know. Canada loves me, by the way.
Yes,
Then
sure.
I'll usually make an announcement on Instagram. Um, but yeah, I mean, get everybody's got a crazy uncle. Everybody's got that weird coworker. You give them a pack of these cards, dude, you will be buddies for life.
Yeah.
Instant friend maker. Okay. And yeah,
A-
that was
and
it. That was last night. Yep.
Nice. And then you have 2 different Rumble accounts.
Well, that's because Rumble's messed up. Okay.
Yes,
Because
it
it
is.
gives you these weird options. I don't
Yeah.
really understand the difference, but when I go live, it sends it to a live different channel. When I just upload, it goes to another channel. I don't really, I can't make hide nor hair, but live is where I do the actual, or maybe it's videos in general or all. Oh, that's not right.
This is, like, the smaller one.
Okay, I guess it's the other
Bigger one.
channel where I do the yeah, there we go. That's where I actually like I'll break down a card or I'll actually design one in real time.
That's so
And
sick.
then there's some older videos. I mean, some of my older videos, like on page 2, are great and they're short little one hitters. I was inspired by that channel, Dark Five, and so there's a one called Under the Microscope. I don't know if that's on. No, I forget. Oh yeah, Under the Microscope. Um,
Oh, right here?
yeah, that's like the one video I am the most proud of. Okay, it's
Oh,
like a Nine Inch Nails video combined with conspiracy stuff. Okay, I just
jeez.
thought it was great. That's definitely worth a watch. But I'm easy to reach. I'm hey, talk to me, reach out to me, say hi. If you want updates, I'll put you on my email list. I don't spam people. Every now and then there's just a couple of updates as to what's happening. But yeah, I try to do the deep dives. I try to get just little micro subjects that make this stuff easy to approach. You know what I mean?
Jeez. So you're doing all of this, and then you're taking pictures? Wow, you're gluing all this.
Well, no, this is so I actually shot all this footage because I also have, I work in video and photo production. And so one of
Yes.
my other things is I would go to universities for science demonstrations. And so, I got a microscopy camera and I'd have to shoot these boring how-to videos to recreate certain laboratory settings. And, so, I got a really wild hard drive full of weird stuff.
Yeah. That's
But
super cool, man.
yeah. But
And
anyways,
now I have a question for you, just
yeah,
one last thing, if that's okay. Who
please.
was the first podcast that you were on, like, as a guest? And how long ago was that?
Maybe about a year. Maybe I think the first time the first one that immediately jumps to mind is The New Prisoners, by a guy, and his screen name is Number 6, and he runs a network on Rumble called The New Prisoners, and there is a ton of interesting people that have their own shows that he restreams, and he sometimes he restreams some of my stuff, and he's a really nice guy, and he's super cool, and he's into old punk rock and heavy metal, and he's um and I was a guest on his stream with his friend named Tom. Um, uh, Forget. He's gonna kill me. But anyways, that was a lot of fun, and they he he's just one of those people that just like reaches out to people that express themselves with effort, and
Yes.
there's yeah, The New Prisoners on Rumble.
Okay.
I think that was the very first interview I did.
Look them up right now. That way people wanna go give them a shout out.
Yeah,
Look.
TNP, that's them. Uh-huh.
Cool. Yeah, because I knew of you through Thomas share like sending these, and I was like, What are these?" Like, I had no
Yeah.
clue. And then, I never heard anything about you. I mean, I looked up your stuff on Instagram, and then all of a sudden you were in a group chat I was in. I was like, "What the heck? I know
No,
him.
yeah,
I
I
have
just
the card."
wind up in, I mean, look, I'm small potatoes, okay? I mean, I'm just like I said, I'm making this up as I go along. I'm not it's just me. I mean, there is
Yeah,
no team, okay? One day, maybe in the future, but it's just but yeah, the TNP, it's just thousands and thousands and thousands of videos of people just uploading all kinds of interesting content.
true.
Um, stuff from Anarchapulco to whistleblowers in the vaccine industry. Um, DJ Hyona, one of the nicest, but I mean, and I mean this in a good way, one of the strangest people on the internet. Okay, but um, but totally cool dude. Okay, don't get me wrong. Um, but yeah, uh, um, in fact, number six, he wanted a box of cards, and he also wanted me to autograph it. So
Oh, that's cool.
somewhere, wherever six is a signed box. And sometimes people at shows want me to autograph cards, and that's pretty cool. No problem. Yeah, absolutely.
Fun. Will it raise it, like, if you get them graded?
I don't know. I don't care. Look, I don't want to create cards for
I
people to collect for money. I would never
No.
want to do that, like one of one, or
Yes.
there's only 8 of these. I don't ever want to do that. I want my stuff that's reasonably accessible, easy
Yeah.
enough to find, but there's still an element of stuff that might be hard to find, just to give, that thrill, you know?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, there's hard to find cards, but okay, the audience may not know this, but I'm pretty generous. In about every box, there's about 6 to 8 hard to find shiny cards. So
Wow.
it's not like, there's only one of those in a box. Okay.
Jeez. Man. Well, hey, James, dude, thank you so much, man. I had a blast.
Yeah,
I feel
good,
like
great.
I learned more on this show than I've ever learned
Shoot.
ever. Like, I feel like between you and Sam, I'm like, "What? Like, is that a thing?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's this." And then off the cuff, I'm like, "I don't know how you guys retain it all, man." Like,
I
I'm
don't look, I don't retain squat. I am in look, I am like, there's so much I don't know. Every night I
no,
go
but
to
I mean,
bed
it's
and I'm reading. I'm
you
like, I didn't.
like this card here, and you're like, "Oh, that's this, and it has
Yeah.
something to do with this." And
Well,
blah,
see,
blah,
that's the
blah.
advantage of having a card, is that it's like an instant
Yes.
reminder in a binder, because you know how it is. You'll hear something on the news, you'll see something, and then you'll forget it. And then
Yeah.
years will go by and they go, "Oh, wait a minute, I kind of remember something about that," but you forgot the context. You don't know
Yes.
where to place it. And there's so much going on that, like, I mean, just in the last 2 months, there's been so much happening. I can't keep up. I'm like, "Oh, I need this book. Oh, I need this book. Oh my God, look at this article." I'm just tearing up the keyboard. My mouse is
Yeah.
exploding, and yeah, it's crazy.
And I am also not a very good note taker at all, but man, I got 2 full pages of notes just from talking to you, like stuff that I want to learn now. I'm like, "Oh, this is so cool, man."
Well, scare
So,
yourself to sleep tonight, and the first thing you need to read is that um, gateway process. Okay,
oh, okay.
dude, you will. I mean, it's cosmic horror. It's unbelievable. It's like, if you think about what they're actually trying to do, you're like, look, first of all, I don't believe in any of that astral projection. I don't believe in remote viewing, but I've read enough of this stuff where, like, it's getting late, and I'm like, damn, I'm like starting to believe this. No, 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 wait. Oh, no. Okay, no, I don't.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. And then I completely forgot. I normally do, well, not me. Teddy Dynamite always does a thought for the day
Yeah.
where it's just like positive, just something nice to say or whatever. Sometimes it's goofy, sometimes it's punny.
Yeah.
It just
Something
depends.
positive. Something inspiring. Okay, I'll tell you this. Your worst day is what somebody wishes their best day was.
Mm,
Okay? I'll tell you that.
that's
And
awesome.
the other thing I'll tell you is that, if everybody out there, okay, there is, if you feel stuck, if you feel like that there's just nothing that captures your imagination, you need to get out more. Okay, you've been staying indoors for too long. Okay, and you need to look at the world with a fresh set of eyes. Okay, and it helps if you understand metaphor. One of my favorite things. Oh God, this takes me back. So I've always loved The Wizard of Oz. It has been one of my favorite movies as a kid. No, I tell you what, forget that analogy. Let's start with something more modern. Okay, Terry Gilliam made a series of movies, and one of them, you need to watch these in order. You need to watch Time Bandits. Okay. Then you need to watch Brazil. And then you need to watch The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. And you need to watch them in that order. Okay. And the reason is that I consider that an actual real trilogy, because the theme of all three of those movies is imagination. And the first one, Time Bandits, is the world of imagination through the eyes of a child. And Brazil is the world of imagination through the eyes of a middle-aged man. And the third is the world of imagination at a man at the end of his life. Okay?
Wow.
And it's powerful if you watch it with that frame in mind. Okay? I don't know if I'm making a point.
No, that's awesome.
Okay.
No, for sure. And then Teddy Dynamite's thought for the day. I'll read this real fast for you. Says, release yesterday, leave the past behind you. It's never coming back. Today is a chance to allow the new you to bloom.
Yeah.
So,
There's always a chance.
all right, cool. Well, thank you so much, James. I really
You're welcome.
appreciate you coming on. Thank you guys so much for listening. I am Code, Conspiracy of a Dead Man from the SpeakInCOAD Podcast. This was James. I don't know which direction. From Plunder World Cards. Please go give him a shout out. Go check out his stuff.
It's like electric acid lava right to your brain.
Yes, I'm like so intrigued. It's almost midnight my time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't even want to go to bed. I'm too amped up.
Yep.
So, and I only had a half an energy drink 5 hours, 7 hours, like 8 hours ago. So, but thank you so much, James. I really appreciate it, man. And yeah, stay safe, stay blessed, and keep on questioning. We out.